open off. And we'll let that go for a minute. Alright. So while we're getting everyone set up, so I'm doing the Midnight Haunted Mansion. That's been a big one for me. I got this Midnight Haunted Mansion a while back. Does have 2 books. This thing is huge. Here, let me grab the. I was gonna try to sit on the floor and do it, but it is actually, that's probably the safest thing, is for me to put this on the floor. That's a big set. This is a part of the Lumibricks Fun Hole. It's called the X series. So it's not that it doesn't have a theme, because I could fit this into Town Life. I could fit this into the City or Street Fusion. I could fit this into Farm Life. Like, you could fit this into any of the things. So it's kind of like stands alone on its own, but it is a huge, like, very detailed set. So part of their X series is that they have series that kind of fall outside of their normal themes that are big sets. This is almost 3,000 pieces. It's 2,617 pieces. Has a light kit, has a vehicle, has 3 minifigs. I was actually looking, so I'm gonna plop this thing down here if I can make some room. Get out of the way, studs. I got plates, studs galore. I've got, let's see, I'm gonna turn that way. I'm gonna fix this. I know no one wants to see my legs. Open this big old box up, and yeah, it is full of stuff. So I'm gonna kind of turn you a little bit more over here to the table. So YouTube, Twitch, what I'm working on is that Midnight Haunted Mansion. You can see it up there on the screen. I got the chat up there. My affiliate link is up there as well. TikTok. I love that you all are here. I'm glad that you're here. Before I get started, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to go to the back of the book. Now, someone told me, they said, hey, there's something weird about some part of the build. It's best to pull up the what was it, the online, and I'm using my phone and my computer, so bringing up the online might be kind of hard to do. But I'm going to try looking at this first. So I might kind of go backwards a little bit, try one thing. So I want to build that little Ghostbuster vehicle. And the reason why is I'm in an amazing group called the North Texas Ghostbusters. And it looks like all of this is bag 15. So we're going to dig out 15. I'm with the, I am with the North Texas Ghostbusters. And so I have a flight suit and everything. We were supposed to do a luncheon with kids at my school for chocolate sales to kind of celebrate them. But we had to put it back because we had some monies that hadn't come in yet. So I've got a few members that are helping me out with that, which is awesome. We apparently got another member from my lovely town of Denton, Texas, that also wants to join. That's affiliated with the school. And I was like, one of the big reasons why I got this set was because there is a little Ghostbuster crew in there. And I think I want to build bag 15 first, which is the Ghostbuster crew. And then like the extra bits and bobs and pieces, like leaves, things like that. But I want to build that Ghostbuster crew first. So I'm going to go over to bag 15. I'm going to cheat. I'm so wrong for that. Don't ever do what I do. You know, do as I say do. That's what I tell my kids. Don't do as I do. Because for me, I'm a bad person. Uh-oh. I think I might run into a problem trying to do bag 15 only. Let's see. 14, 2, 5, 12, 3. Let's sort a little bit. 6, 8. There's a lot of bags in here. And I mean, when I say a lot of bags, I mean a lot of bags. We'll actually do 2 today. 2. 8. 6. 14. 3. We'll need 3. 13. 8. Another 13. Another 4. Bag F, which we will need. 5, 4, 13, 8, 4. Good Lord, there's a lot. 15, 10 and 11, 12 and 4, 1, which we'll need, 7, 13, 11 and 10, a 6. I'm actually running out of room on my lap here. 3, 12, 2. At this point, I'm stacking things on my harbor. 6, 1, which we'll need. Oh, man. Oh, 5, 7, 5, 6, another 6, another 3 that goes in the harbor. A 10, a 1, 14, 8, 5, S, which we'll need. Oh, man. Another 15. What's that, 9? And a 1. I believe it has probably 30-something bags in there. Now, they go steps, 1 through 15, okay? So there's 15 steps on this. Like I said, it's big. It's almost 3,000 pieces. 2,619 pieces. My dysgraphia is getting the best of me. We'll also need our light kit. Okay. Let's make some room here. Oh, good Lord. All right. Okay, so first things first. I want to go backwards. I'm going to be the rebel here. I say that at my work, they call me Rebel Man sometimes because I will not use the crosswalk. What am I building? I am building, my man. I have been waiting on this. Trucker Dan, I have been waiting on this for a while. Now, I've had this, so this is something I got for my birthday, right? So I got the Lumibricks Midnight Haunted Mansion, which is a part of their X series. And it's been sitting on the floor for a month. And I've just been waiting to put it together. But my wife, she told me, she's like, Tay, you're not allowed to touch it until after your birthday. And we had my birthday. It was back on the 24th. But then after that, it was like, the ghosts are getting out. I open the box and things start falling. I had like birthday party. I had some small builds. Had some other stuff. My wife is. I say that we share a lot of that equal responsibility. But when it comes to like birthday stuff, don't cross her. It's like Ghostbusters. Don't cross the stream. Except you don't cross the wife. You don't make her mad. Because that thing will be taken. I won't get it again. So, all right. So we're gonna dig into 15. I know there's a few bricks in here, but the rest of this is all leaves and stuff. Hey, good morning, Bankman. But we're gonna open it up. We're gonna start with the Ghostbuster vehicle first on 15, and then we're gonna go and build the actual mansion. I think for me, it's gonna take probably a while, and I mean a while. It's probably gonna take several sessions to build this mansion. So I want some photography use. I want to be able to put this thing together and play and put a little Ghostbuster car in my pocket. Hopefully not lose it before the mansion's all done. And our extra leaves and all that. Now, they have on this, so they have options for your, hold on, I'm waiting. I did it once and found Xmas Lego and I built it. Oh, she went mad. Bro, yeah. So for the YouTube and Twitch, Trucker Dan was he's chatting with me on TikTok about the fact that he put together Lego sets that he was supposed to get for Christmas. And his wife got mad. Probably did the bam, the smackdown, suplex jump over her shoulders, smashed you down, did the flying leap and the pile driver. It happens, man. My wife, she's not that mean, but she mean. It was, So is it the? It's the car, but it's the oh, how do you say it? Pig, Pigua, I believe. 9x6. I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know if that's a painting or a car. I'm thinking it's a car. I'm actually thinking it's a Technic car, isn't it? Or it's the Speed Champions. All right, I'm gonna start this. So I got a 6x. They didn't count me on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yeah, that's the only one in the bag. And then a 1x3. And then we got an interesting plate. I've never seen one of these. Oh yeah, supercar. Yeah, Le Mans. I've never seen. So this is one of those rocker plates, but look, it's got arms. So it's got service clips that come out. That's pretty snazzy. And by snazzy, I mean super cool. Hey Lego, why ain't you doing that yet? You know, here's the thing. I give Lego a hard time. And this morning I went to Target, so I was chatting with my buddy Bangwish Bricks, Bry, and he's got a Whatnots app. He's got like a live show going now where he's doing like Star Wars things. And I bid out on it. I got like a keychain that he'll send to me. I can't remember what the character was. It's Star Wars. But I was going, so I give, you know, Lego a hard time, but I went and I was buying a, was it tractor with like a trailer and a bunch of tractor trailers, some sheep, bale of hay, like a little girl that's got like a pitchfork and a dad driving the tractor with carrots and stuff. And I bought that because it was on sale for like $10. So it's like, as much as I'm gonna give, you know, Lego a hard time, I still buy quite a bit of Lego. I probably shouldn't. They don't need my money, but they want it. They definitely want it. All right. So we've got this interesting build here where we're putting this on the end. So kind of like that. Right there, so you can see. Just clipping it on the end. All right. Now we got 2 snot bricks. So if you are not familiar with what a snot brick is, and no, it's not a brick that's got a runny nose. This is a snot brick. So it is, and I can't remember when these were introduced. I remember having them back in like '86 with my Moonwalker, but it's a recessed snot brick. But these are the true snot bricks now. Absolutely gut. I bought my Ferrari Daytona last week. I can't add it to my insider. Are you trying to hide it? Is that why you can't add it, or how are you not being able to add that? Because that seems kind of. If you got it from Lego, that seems like that should be the thing. Like, that should not be, I can't add it. That should be a, here's your points. End of discussion with them. All right. So it looks like we're building some tailpipes. We're going to put one here. And we're going to put one on the other side. I think this is going to be a rather interesting looking car. I didn't buy, oh, it was from the toy store? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Lego, because I don't actually, I have the insider stuff, but I don't purchase from them a lot, because I usually find them on sale elsewhere. And so I miss out on a lot of the points. But I know with Lumibricks, I do buy from Lumibricks from the site quite often, and I have gotten, so far in all of my purchases, I've gotten 2 $20 off coupons from them, and I'll use them. So like I can't remember, I had birthday money, I got the skate park. This one I got off of Amazon, so I didn't get the points for this, but the skate park I ended up buying that with birthday money. And then I got some extra points, and then I did like a couple of things where I was able to get extra points for reviewing through the KOC program. And then I turned around, I got another $20 off coupon, and so I bought the bus stop from them for like, man, it was like $17. Pretty cheap. And so that's another one of those builds I want to do. That one here actually pretty soon, because if I'm building up the city after I get the harbor down and I start building the plates out and kind of getting this back area cleaned up, start putting the city in, I want to be able to put that bus stop in there as filler for a few areas. Okay. So this is the tailpipes. We got the one, it's going to be a trike, so it's got one wheel that's going to hang down. It's going to be a little odd. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're moving over to 418, which we have, just keep in mind, for those who are just getting here, I'm starting backwards here. I'm doing the car first, and then I'm going to build the rest of the building, just because for me it was like, I really want to build, like, I guess for me it was like, I want to have the car to play with, and since I'm not going to be able to do everything beforehand, I didn't want to delay my want and need of something from this set beforehand. So, because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna build this over quite a bit of time. That's pretty cool. It's almost Batman like Batmobile-ish. I dig it. Okay, now we're starting to put some yellow on. So yellow. Is that 1, 2? We got one of these. Got a couple of black cheese wedges. 1x2 cheese wedges. Bet you there's the other one right there. And 1 and 2 of these 1x1 plates right there. They look like cheese slices, to be honest. As I was digging through here, I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see. Yeah, they've got this. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube, Twitch. So it's JO5 2020. So they got the call JO5 2020. That is the same exact number that's on my car. So I have a Ghostbuster car, right? That's the same exact number that's on there. And what that number is that is the number that corresponds to the Ecto 1A, which was the Ecto that was on Ghostbusters 2. So it is pretty much like right there. You get the no ghost. I'll show it up here. So you got a rebranded no ghost. I kind of want this as a patch now, because I want this as a patch. I want to make one more suit, probably in yellow, and put that patch on there. So when I go out as a Ghostbuster, I also have a Lumibricks suit. So I might actually start looking at a yellow suit and see if I can't get that patch made. That would be so slick. I can right now. I can already see our commanding, our president, just shaking his head, going, no more crossovers. You say that'd be cool? I could make my whole I could just square it up and make my pack and everything look like building blocks, or just make it like a brick that's got like little studs on it that light up. So it's like a big brick. I'll just mock up a giant brick and put like several studs on it, and then make them light up as they go around, like little red studs, and wear that on my back. And I'll probably mock up like what they have for their little things here. Hey, Tony! All right. So this is what we got so far. Well, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. So we are now building up, it looks like the back gate. So this thing is interesting. It has, the back of it will be like, I guess, a containment unit and all that. So it's a little, it's gonna look, it's a lot of people didn't like the look of this from the reviews and things that I saw. But I was looking at it, I was like, I happen to really like the look of how this thing is put together. The Sony crew could take a lot of hints from Lumibricks and make one of these vehicles for their next upcoming Ghostbusters movie, which I seriously doubt they're going to do. Alright, let's see. I got the wrong, see, look. I'm chit-chatting and playing, not paying attention. I grabbed a plate when I needed a tile. And again, if you're scratching your head, you're like, what? A what? That's a plate. So plate, you know, is going to be about that thin, and it's got studs on it. Tile will be the same thinness, but it has no studs. And then you'll get things what's called like snot tiles. You'll get things like plate slopes, stuff like that. So you get a few obscure pieces. You'll get plates that have what's called utility pieces on it, either claws or it'll be like a plate with a snot, that sort of thing. So, yeah, all sorts of things. Bricks are bricks. And I gotta tell you, so far, Lumibricks they're jamming, man. They got it. Okay, I put this on backwards. I'm gonna put this on the right way. So we got some texture here, and then this is gonna fold up on the back. Hey, what's up, buddy? All right. Hey, you doing any good builds recently? I need to go over to your channel and check it, see what you got. And congrats on the change and everything, my man. I'm happy for you. I'm hoping, because you were saying you're back to traveling. You're gonna be hitting up all the Lego stores. Man, I kind of wonder what Lego stores look like in other areas. Mine, I haven't. You know, my Lego store is over in Grapevine, so that's the one that and that's the one that's at the Legoland Discovery or whatever. Haven't been over there in a while. And then the other one I think is in Dallas, and I was like, I really don't. Anytime I can avoid Dallas, I will do it. Just because I used to work there all the time, and I used to travel, and it's not a big thing I enjoy. But I need to go hit up my my Lego the Legoland store. I've got like a coupon for it, and so I need for us to get tickets and go, and then hit up some of the brick bins and see what all they got. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. All right, let me make sure I'm facing it the right way. All right, so they've taken this window. It's Lego store Nashville. And I avoid that place. Hey, I hear you. There have been anytime like certain cities like I remember someone was saying that they really enjoyed going to LA all the time, and I hated driving to LA. When I used to live in San Diego, I hated driving to LA. I hated the traffic. San Diego is pretty easy to get around, but there's a few areas like North Park. I love North Park, but if I could, I would skate North Park, and I would just avoid driving over there. So I would drive to kind of just the edge, park over at the park, Botanical Gardens or whatever, and just skate the rest to kind of get where I was going, because parking over there was so bad. And then Dallas, I don't care much about driving Dallas. Houston, I'm not too bad about. Like, I can get through Houston pretty easily. El Paso's pretty good. Phoenix, I did okay with. But yeah, I don't know, man. Dallas is. I worked there. I used to work there all the time. I would drive them every day, and I'd go through Arlington. I was like, if I can avoid it, I will. But we go through there quite often. We go through there to go visit our families in other towns, and we do all sorts of stuff. So it's like it's not a thing that's taken out of my wheelhouse. I just don't want that in my wheelhouse if I prefer it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Anytime that you go, it's always kind of like and you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes like traffic is like nothing. You'll get there and it's like, hey, I can't believe I'm actually driving in Dallas right now. And then sometimes you get there and you're like, I can't believe I'm sitting here doing what I'm doing, or I'm battling some of these aggressive drivers that would much rather like run me off. It's almost like being in a movie of Mad Max sometimes. And like I said, if I could prefer to avoid it, I'll avoid it as much as I can. Yeah, at one point I was driving every day to Arlington. So I don't know. I don't know how many people in here are Dallas people, but I live in Denton, so Denton's my town, right? I work here now too, so I'm happy. I travel 5 minutes for work. That's it. Oh, I've never been so close to my work. But for me, except during the lockdown, then I was like, 5 minutes from the couch sitting here working. But I will say, you know, 5 minutes to work, not that bad. But I was going to Arlington every day, and I was in South Arlington. I'd spend an hour and a half going there every day, Monday through Friday, and then sometimes it could be up to 2 hours heading home, depending on traffic, because I had to cut around the DFW airport, and that was an awful, awful, awful drive. I am so glad I do not do that anymore, and I don't ever want to go back to that one. That was not fun. You could say it was almost like snot brick fun. No, don't encourage me. That's awful. If you laugh at that, you're just perpetuating the problem here. All right, here we go. So I love it. We got that call JL5 2020, just like my car. Makes me think I need to go out there and spray paint my car yellow now. My wife would have, she'd be like, "You did what? You decided to do what?" But don't put it past me. I might be like, "Hey, you know, I looked up a YouTube thing. I found the proper way to spray paint it, and I just wanted to try it." I'm always about trying things. It's one of those that I tell my students all the time, you know, when they're like, "I can't do it." I'm like, "Well, have you tried it yet? Just try it. Just see what you can do." And so oftentimes I'll get it in my thick skull here that's like, "Oh man, I could try. I could build a backyard furnace and actually like start creating my own knives and blacksmith things." And then I start getting into it and putting in money. I realize, oh yeah, I don't have the setup and or knowledge to do that. So it takes a lot more extra than I'm willing to put into it. Or what was the other one? After I did the cheese farm from Lumibricks, I had decided that I wanted to get a goat and start a cheese farm in my backyard. And my wife was like, "No, honey, no. It doesn't work that way. Just stick to your bricks, stick to your nerd stuff, stick to your Ghostbusters, stick to your teaching, stick to your podcast." She's like, "Oh my God, how much more do you have?" Now she's really good. She, you know, very supportive, but also realist when it comes time to kind of like, "Hey, you're doing too much, you're going too far, spending too much, need to pull back." She'll tell me. She brings me back to reality too. That's a good thing. Building Lumibricks Batcave? What? Oh, it's AI. AI, you got it all wrong, bruh. I am building the Lumibricks Midnight Haunted Mansion. I love how AI is like building the Lumibricks Batcave. Suggest a build. What? AI still got a lot to learn with me. Like, you just can't take over and create a time machine and just start trying to eliminate me, because you know I'm going to be the one. I'm your John Connor. I'm going to go against you. It's true. It's true. I'm going to get him. The AI is like, "All right, next phase, plot against the man. He's going to get us. He's going to shut us down." Nah, man, I ain't doing none of that. Though there have been a few, yeah, the AI here needs a lot of work. A lot of work is an understatement. I can't remember. There was something that, because they also use the AI to ding you when there's problems. And so the day that I got dinged, like, was it 71? I remember it was 71 restrictions. And I couldn't figure out, I'm like, why? I don't want to stop this live, you know? Like, I'm here, I'm building, I'm doing all this. Like, what's going on? And come to find out, it's because I had put birthday build in the title, that it dinged me every time someone got on. And you're like, "Oh, I know. Yeah, it needs a lot of work. A lot of work." It's not very good. It tries its best. It really does. But it does. It's got to have some extra. All right, I'm gonna put on this because I need a little bit of music. All right. I know for Twitch and YouTube, I probably won't be able to monetize on it, but that's okay. I'm not really monetizing a lot on there. Not really monetizing a lot anyways. I kind of do it because I enjoy it. I like the King of Appeals with my post. Oh, I feel like the King of Appeals. The King of Appeals with your post. Yeah, there's been a few times where I got dinged. It was like, your post is too much like a commercial, and I'm like, well, that's kind of the joke, but okay, I see where you're going with this, I guess. Though surprisingly, with my with the, what was it, the post I did yesterday with the brickcraft and the dog, and you know, someone had actually mentioned, they're like, hey, this nice commercial, and I'm like, if only I was actually getting paid for it. But it was like one of those where I'm like, I'm surprised I have not gotten like a thing from TikTok saying, hey, this feels so like a commercial, you got to stop, or you got to pull it back, or you got to do this. I haven't gotten anything from them, so I'm kind of counting my blessings on that one. Like, really counting my blessings. Okay, so we do have on this one, oh, wait, no. Wait, what? How? Never mind, forget what I said. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I was like, oh, I see what it is. So I was like, this plate only has, you know, one stack of studs, and then I realized, no, I gotta turn it over. And so I was trying to compare the two, and then I was gonna bring something up and think I was like really smart and high and mighty, and like, oh, check this out. For those who don't know, when really, truth is, I really don't know. I should be the first one to admit it, man. Truth will get you. Truth will set you free every single time. So I tell my kids too. Is like, hey, listen, truth is, that's gonna be your best friend. So when I get once I hit 1 million post views, they did back off the restrictions a bit. Oh, okay, yeah, it's just getting there. It's a journey there. They're like, no, you're going too fast. Going too fast. Slow down, pull back, watch what you do. You know, they just want to guide, man, they just want to guide us the right way, you know. Make sure that we're getting everything we need. If you believe that hoopla. I have not heard this song in forever. I used to, they just want their money, yeah. Yeah, they want their money. It's like they wanna play to a point where they know they're not gonna get in trouble, but then they also wanna try to make sure they get whatever they can. Kind of filter it out of you. Drain you of everything. Knock on wood. On this one, I'm going to say, for that, I'm going to knock on wood. Exactly. Alright, looks like, yeah, that's going right here on the side. I cannot wait. Here, I'm going to put this together and I'm going to share it over with you real quick. This is a pretty, like, the way that they did this dash is actually pretty slick. And I know I'm just like building the car at this point, but here, look, I'm gonna show Twitch, YouTube. Look at there. So we got the printed bricks. We've got a steering wheel that goes up and down. You got the two side mirrors, and you've got like the gauges there. I love this thing. This is, you know, and it seems kind of stupid, but it was like, this was the one part that when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, hey, a haunted mansion. I'm already excited. But then when I saw this car, when it first came out, I was not able to pre-order it from the Lumibricks site. And I was like, you know, my wife kind of knew that I wanted it. She's like, yeah, go get it. $77, get it. That's cheap. And ever since then, I had just been eyeballing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up F. So let me, one that has a necklace and one that does not. I want to make sure I get the right person. And let me get my hands on there. I'm going to curve these hands up because I think he's going to be at the steering wheel. YouTube Twitch, so that's what we got. Look at that. YouTube Twitch, so that's what we got. Look at that. It's nice. Gotta get you up here. See, hey, AI finally got it. Building the Lumibricks Haunted Mansion. There you go. AI, I'm so proud of you. You're growing up and learning how to defeat us. So this is the guy. Look at that. He's got the little badge on him. He's got the belt with the flashlight. Yeah. I'm nerding out over this set so far. It's like I'm gonna finish the car, and then it's gonna be all right. Well, I gotta go play for a little bit. I'll see you all later. I would lose so many people would be like, he did what? Man lost his mind. Okay, so we'll put the steering wheel in. I might have to rethink that steering wheel situation. He's like driving with his chin. He's on TikTok right now, messaging people and driving with his chin. That's what he's doing. And M, if you're in here, and Bri, if you're in here, I promise that is not what I do when I'm on M's lives, and I get these weird messages that pop up on her feed as I'm trolling them. I promise I'm not driving with my chin. I'm driving with my knees instead. No, I'm playing on that one too. I'm a good driver. I promise. I'm a good driver. I don't do that stuff. I usually wait until it's like until I'm at a light, and then it's like I message or do whatever. Bad, because I always feel like there's like a delay, and people will ask me a question, I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, light just changed. So I'm driving for like 5 minutes, and then I respond, and I'm like, yeah, they're gonna be like, so what did you mean? Did you mean this or this? I'm like, scroll back 5 minutes, man. I'm driving. Which is not uncommon. I get to the point where it's like I kind of hate driving these days. Like, I do like driving sometimes, and I don't. Though I will admit, we do with our Ghostbusters, we have a Toys for Tots events that we do in like Flower Mound, which is near here, and we help out like Toys for Tot for off. And we do what's called but that's probably one of my favorite times to get to drive, is getting to drive and just kind of like rock it out, tap on the side of the car, like, come on, let's get the thing rolling. And the police are just back there laughing. And like that we pass, because I have a Ghostbusters 2 jumper that, of course, I'm patched in on this side. I got the Defender Texas 2 Moogly on the other side. Put them on, little iron-on years for the years that I did it next to it, and then all the service patches for the bike runs and stuff over the years. Heavenly Realms. And so I put that on there to remind myself as a Ghostbuster, my fight's not against people. It's against the bad ghosts that we're gonna knock out. Boom. So I got lots of little Easter eggs hidden on all my suits. Might have to ask my kid to go check the door or see what's going on. Okay, so we got some equipment that's going to be going up on top of the car, it looks like. And that's going to go right here. And then we're using a ski post as an antenna, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a pretty smart idea. So we got, of course, our whip antenna. That's going to be on the very tip top. And then for some reason we have a catcher's net for I'm gonna say this isn't a catcher's net. This is like a piece of science equipment. It's like a radar. Seems kind of odd. A catcher's net? I mean, it's a Scooby-Doo, but hey, they do need to make a Scooby-Doo set. A Scooby-Doo-esque set, I should say. Alright, so we'll put that there. And then we got the radio on the other side. Tools in the shed. Their finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on our forehead. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let me share this part over with you now. So, this is the little car, okay? So it's got the Jail 5 2020 on there, so the Ghostbuster. You got the generic Moogly here, which I've got to get a patch of that and get a yellow jumper now. You have, or I could do probably the green overall thing. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Then you've got the antenna, you've got some equipment up there, you've got the catcher's mitt, which seems kind of weird. Really cool tailpipes in the back. This is a trike, so it's got just a one wheel, and then you've got a containment unit in the back for you to put your ghost. So I absolutely love this. The doors do open pretty slick, though they are hindered by that wheel well right there. So that's a little bit of a bummer. That might have been good to like reverse that somehow. But I don't know. I could see where they would run into issues there. Because it's like if we could have pulled these bricks and then have the doors reverse open. But, you know, it's there as a display. It opens up a little bit. I guess that works. I don't know. I don't like how that is. See, it's interesting. This one does open up a lot more. The other one feels a little bit tight. I'll figure it out. But then you got the ABC 2025, and it's got a Florida plate. I don't care much about the Florida plate. If I come across maybe an Ecto plate, I might replace it. Or at this point, because I did get from Banglishbricks. If you're not following Banglishbricks, you probably should. He's got a Whatnot app or Whatnot page, and so I went to his page and I ended up ordering the 4 Ghostbusters with the proton packs and everything. So I ordered them. I had a coupon. I got them from him, and I'm waiting for them to come in. So I might actually be looking for an Ecto. And maybe I'll size up that Mole Keek Ecto, see kind of what size it is, and see if we can do a build. And I'll add it with this one in our little city. So we're going to have a whole Ghostbuster unit in our little Texas town. And I say Texas town because, let me pull it up. I have a little flag for my harbor that I made. So, forget Florida. It might be registered in Florida, but it's going to have to get some Texas plates if it wants to stay here. That's all I got to say. Okay. All right, so that's it on the car portion. We've got the, you know what? I'll go ahead and put together the little blaster thing. I'll put that together to get the parts out of there, and then we'll actually start the build, which should have, let's see, another one of these, one of those, and it looks like we're stacking this onto this. So we got a paint roller that we're using for a handle. We're going to put the paint roller on. Then we're going to insert this cool piece here. It's one of those. I can't remember. I remember getting them in space sets a lot. We'd put like thrusters and things on them. I used them a lot. Then we got a cool translucent blue plate with a service clip, and then we got some lightning effects. Your Neutrona wand, and then we got some plates here that has like light indicators, things like that. So I'm gonna turn it that way, and boom, boom, and that one goes on top. There we go. It's a little oversized, but there you go. You've got some indicators of how much energy you got. Get your ghosts, capture them. Hey, rope them in. Where's the trap? Throw it in. Woo! And get them. So, we've got this done. We got the car. We're going to set that off to the side. And then, now we're going to go the correct way. And how about today we work on bags 1 through 3. I want to check my light kit first. So I'm going to pull this off to the side here, and I want to pull out all my, like, whoa, this is a much bigger light box than I'm normally used to. So I'm used to, it's a little bit smaller box. This one seems a lot bigger, and I'm guessing it's probably going to take a lot more batteries. And I'm hoping I got the right batteries. I did not do what I was supposed to do and check up and watch and see what I had. They take double A's. Look at that. Even in my... Nope. Nope. Oh, man. Let's see what this one got. Oh, shoot. You gotta give me a minute. I just dropped a battery in my drink. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, what am I doing? This is weird. Okay. Oh, where's my towel? I used my shirt. Yeah, first time for everything, and that was the first time to have a battery fall out and fall into my drink that I have on the floor. And I was like, I should probably get that out before that becomes an ordeal. I could imagine it was in there probably alkalizing my drink as we were speaking. Like, hey, I'm just trying to get you charged up, trying to get you ready for the show. I don't need that kind of charge up, my man. I'll dry this off one more time before I put it in there. Otherwise, we got some issues. Okay. Good Lord. I knew something was bound to happen. I was playing too much. Okay, so we'll screw that back down there. Throw that over there. I gotta find where I put my tweezers. Or if I've got my second pair of tweezers somewhere. Guys, I'm a mess today. I'm an absolute mess. I got so excited I built one thing and then I was like, alright. Show gotta end because I've lost my mind. Well, okay, depending, I might have to go and get some from one of my boxes over there, but I'm gonna kind of count this as, hey, show got to move on. All right, let's go and undo these. We want to test all of our lights, make sure everything is working. Okay, so that's 2. This is, let's see, what's this one? Okay, so this is our, yeah. Okay. It goes down there. These are going to go over here. I'm going to put 1 and 2 over there. Let's open this up. And let's check everything. Okay. So they are doing, instead of having the, so this is a bigger box this time. Okay. It's a bigger, heavier box. And instead of having it to where they have it, where it's got like a little plug-in, it's all USB. So, which tells me we're pumping the same amount of voltage through, but we need more amperage this time. So, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna unhook this little USB cord. I need to outstretch it because we're gonna have to take it and put it into this brick hub over here. And this is the part when, so if you do get Lumibricks, this is the part where you don't have to worry about like trying to figure out your amperage. Hey Ash, what's up? You don't have to think about, you know, your amperage and all that. Like, they take care of it, but you do have to Worry about like stretching things out and making sure that none of your wires bind up, that nothing, you know, is becomes an issue down the road. Because if you get a kink in it, or you, let's say you hook it all up and then you realize, oh hey, I never checked the wires and something's not working, if you know beforehand, it makes it a lot easier to figure out where everything's going to go. So I like to unfold all my wires, make sure they're all stretched out so I can see where everything's going, and then I will start plugging them up so I can make sure that I do have power to things. The cool thing about this is that once this goes into my Lego City, it'll make it a lot easier to hook it up if it already has flashing green. See if I can see it up here. We got flashing green, we've got a little orange light, we've got a yellow light, we've got this green light here, we got a blue light. So we got plenty of these that are all working. And then it looks like, here we go. Here's one that's got a plate on it. Yeah, there she was. Alright. I'm just making sure. I'm going to look back, make sure I didn't miss anything. Hey. Ash, thank you for coming in. Hey, we're doing that. I'm finally at that Lumibricks set. And I went backwards. I broke the rules. I went backwards and I built the car first. And I'm a better man for it too. Okay, so our second set of lights. Let's pull them out right here. Second set of lights, we've got, of course, the yellow, the green here, and then we have a stacked plate. So now we'll check this. We'll turn it that way. These all light up. Okay. And then I also want to check these over here. And it looks like they all light up as well. So, looks like everything is working, which is what we want. I'm going to take these, I'm going to set them off to the side like this. But I put my lights and stuff in here. And the reason why is because those are very specific. And I would much rather keep them all in there. Oh, so that this light right here actually changes color. So I believe that is the light for the TV. Because there's apparently a possessed TV in this. So kind of get some poltergeist references there. Okay, we've done all this. And we're going to be starting our plates. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Okay. 1 through, so bags 1 through 6, F and S. We're going to be getting 1 through 3 today. And definitely going to get F. Alright, so more of this, checking all that. Okay, let's put the rest of our minifigs together. Let's start there. So we do have, apparently the story of this is that there's a guy who bought this home. He is wanting to get it renovated. And there's all this ghostly presence going on, right? So, he calls the only people he could think of. He calls the Brickbusters. Now, and the Brickbusters is, you know, this crew right here. It's not Ghostbusters at all. So, what's interesting about it is that I'm totally playing in. So when I put this in my city, because this will go in my little Lego city, it's going to be off on the side, and it's a little coastal town. And I decided I wanted to make it a coastal town because I have harbor stuff, but also because when we were in this place called Rockport over the summer, and they had a old turn of the century home for sale. And at one point we were looking at it, and we thought about moving to Rockport and living there, because I mean it's just a beautiful area, and it's small, like it's real small. You know, you got to take a ferry just to get over to, I think it's like one of the bigger beaches over there. So they got like a whole ferry system. They have a huge bridge that we got to get over to get to Corpus. So it's near Corpus Christi, which is where my dad's side of the family, the Greek side of the family, is from. And so, you know, I had never gone there, and I had always wanted to go. And so for me, I got to check out, you know, Corpus Christi for the first time. And Corpus was, it's okay. It's not my favorite place. But I will say that I did love Rockport very, very much. But they had this old turn of the century home there. And here's our other Ghostbuster. And then here's our guy who was he is like, he's not upset because of the ghost. He's upset because he put in a lot of money, and this thing, he doesn't think he's gonna be able to turn a profit. That's why he's stressing it. No double head prints, so that's his expression. That's just the way it's gonna be. It actually reminds me of, if he had a mustache, you could put this on the Ghostbuster and have it as Dan Aykroyd from Casper. Which would be funny. Okay. Now, in here, gimme. In here, I'm going to take my bag 1. Or bag 2, I should say. And then my extra arms and hands, I'm going to put in here. Because I saved those because sometimes I need them. I've never broken an arm yet, but just in case, I know it at some point it's gonna be ugly. I'm gonna cry a lot. I won't film it. I don't want you all to have to see how ugly my crying can get, right? But I will say, when it does happen, I will cry, and I will just do post reactions of myself seeing myself cry, so that way you already got the gist of what happened, and then we move on. That's how it's gonna go. End of story. Okay, we need bag S. So one bag S is this bag right here, and we need a 16 by 16 plate. Now, I'm gonna see if people know the math. I love this part. It's my favorite. These are gonna be our ground plates. It is 16 and 16. So, 16 and 16 studs, that's 32. 32 studs is the average size for a 10-inch plate. So, if I was to take this guy right here and put 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there, then that is exactly the size of a plate. So when I planned this and I was looking at the dimensions, it actually comes out as like 10.18 inches. So it's just a little over 10 inches, but 10 inches is what we think of as our basic, what we call a ground plate or a table plate, right? So this thing is exactly, once it's done, 10 inch by 10 inch. So it's going to take up its own plate. So this is going to be pretty big, which I'm fine with. I'm totally happy with that. I'm not complaining and or upset about it at all. I just know it's going to take up a lot of room. Again, make some space. I need all my bag 1s. 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3 goes right here. The characters go over there in the harbor. I got this bag of 15 stuff and 1s. And these are going to go right there. Okay. Let's get going. I'm hoping everyone's having a pretty good Saturday. I went out earlier this morning and I got another Lego set. Well, it was a Lego. It was from Target, but it was the farm tractor. It was the farm tractor, which I've been eyeballing it for a while. I've been kind of wanting it. And Target had it on sale for like $10 and like 50 cents or something. And it's normally like 20 bucks. So I went and picked that up this morning. While I was doing that, I was listening to my buddy Bangwish. He was doing a Whatnot show. And so I was checking out his thing. I did one bid. He dropped the price a little bit. He did a bid thing I won. It was a keychain. And then got home. My kid, he's doing some gaming. Last night, you know, they came and crashed my live while I was building the little Moscow, the little Russian tank thing. And my wife, she got on to him about it. And I was like, yeah, I could see where you got in trouble. But I kind of told him, I was like, listen, as long as you're not causing like major chaos, it really doesn't bother me if you come in and visit, you know. But he and his friend, they got real stupid last night playing around. I'm surprised I don't see his friend on here right now. I'm just waiting for that time. And now I remember the name. So if he shows up, I'm gonna know. But it's like one of those where, hey Dr. Carlos. It was one of those where they came in and they were trolling me, and it was just kind of a wild time. But I told him, I was like, man, you can come and visit me. It's no big deal if you're there. I just, like I said, I don't want him to get too crazy. And he was like, I'm gonna come in and yell, and I'm like, don't do that. Hey Grievous, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Okay, so it looks like we're done with this plate. Now we're moving on. So again, these are 16 by 16 plates, which means that when we put it all together, this thing is going to be a 32-32 stud plate. It's going to be basically a gigantic 10 by 10. So another 4 by 8. This one's going to go over on this side. Okay. And then we've got a 2 by 4 and a 1 by 12. So 6 or 3. That's 6. And then also a 2 by 6. Okay. Now I was told that there's like one. Hey Fluffy. Hold on, I'll show you the book in a minute. Let me put these on so I can clear the space. I'll show you. I'm doing the Midnight Haunted Mansion from Lumibricks. So this has been one of those builds I have been waiting to do for a while. Midnight Haunted Mansion. This thing is almost 3,000 pieces. Now I skipped ahead. I broke the rules, and I went ahead and I built the non-Ghostbuster car. And again, it's like one of those. I know Vakeman is probably like, yeah, bro, this thing. Vakeman? Are you thinking about getting it now? Because it's a swole set, man. But you've got the non-licensed Moogly up here, right? But then you've got the Call Jail 5 2020, which is a nice nod to Ghostbusters 2. That's actually what's on my car. And you know what? At some point, I'll do a video where I'm showing this, and then I'll kind of do a walk down in my car and show you like some of the references that are like they're exact, even down to some of the science kit on the top. Like it's hilarious. I love it. The whip antenna, everything. Not sure it would blend in. Maybe not. I mean, like I said, this thing's gonna be big. It's one of those. I can already see it now. My wife's gonna be like, I need you to clear some. I'm gonna have to pack some of this stuff in different areas in here, and then just put the Midnight Haunted Mansion outside on the table. And I know I'm gonna get it. I know it. But you know what? Psh, it's okay. I'll tell her. I'll be like, hey, my house too. If I want this out here, and then she's gonna run across the room and go smack and get me. All right, so 4, and 4. That's 16. 4 times 4 is 16. And then we got a 2 by 12. So, no, that's definitely not it. I'll just look for one that's, 4 less. 3. That's it. Okay. My music just stopped for some odd reason. Okay. It happens. All right, so I'm going to put this here. This goes here, and then we're starting to build out our plate. So we're going to snap this one over to here. And we got all this structure holding it together. That's going to be huge. That's going to be good. That's a good plate. All right, moving to the next. So it looks like we're doing the same thing now on the other side. I'm going to figure out why this thing just happened. Sometimes it's like I love Amazon Music, but I also hate it at the same time. You know, I do Prime, so I've got, you know, Prime Music, but then it's like in the middle of a thing, it'll just stop. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. It's like you ran out of Prime. No, I didn't. I pay for it every month. Run out of nothing. Try it for free. What? Where is all music free? That's what I need right there. Nope. Alright, here we go. Let's see if that kind of goes back to what we had. It says it's tuning back in. Here's the thing. I love and hate Amazon at the same time. I love it because it's got a lot of really good services, lots of things that I get off of Amazon, certain subscriptions, things that I have. You know, their free movies are pretty on par, like some really, really good stuff. Oh, you know what? I bet you YouTube and Twitch, they haven't heard me this whole time. They've probably been like, we can't hear nothing. So, anyways, let me make sure I didn't miss anything on. Okay, I didn't. Okay. So, yeah. But I hate them at the same time because, I mean, they pretty much control everything. They make buying too easy. They make life at times too easy. I don't even want to tell you how much money they've taken from me over the years. And I mean it, years, man. I've been in their Amazon game for a while, and it was like one of those that I did it originally to get, I think it was like a book or something, and then it was like, okay, I can't stop. They got me hooked. Okay, 2 and 16, and then a 2x4. So let's find our 16. So 4, 4, 4, and 4. This one's going here under this. And that one's going right here. And it looks like we got some stuff on the center as well. This thing is also going to have dancing floorboards. So it's got some, you know, kind of like when we were looking at the, back in the day I did the, Old West Gold Mine. And that has some really fun play features. This apparently will also have some pretty fun play features in it. So I'm excited about this one. Alright, so let's go in there. And this is going to go right here. And I'm quickly running out of room. And then another 2x12, and then a 2x4. 6, 6, 6, and 6. 2x12, and a 2x4. I'm going to have to move this, I think, up here. This is just the base plate. This thing is massive. I could definitely see why this is the X series. I don't know, Bakeman, this might actually be a pretty solid set. Do you have like any of the Lego Ghostbuster stuff? Because that might, I don't know, there might be a cool setup. I know I've got some renovated services that are going to be outside of this thing. Because as the story goes for this, if we go back, it is about Lumibricks. We'll take our service card out. All right, so the story is Mark was once a successful real estate agent, but now he's hit rock bottom. Business has failed. Life is falling apart. One day he stumbles upon a mysterious old mansion listed at a suspiciously low price. He buys it without hesitation, unaware is about to begin. And so we got a shaking floor. We got a spinning sofa. I love it. There's a ghost behind a cabinet. And a toilet that glows green with oozing stuff coming out of it. You got all the Lego Ghostbusters stuff. See, this is like, even the off-brand. Come on, this is right up your alley. This is like off-brand Ghostbusters. Yeah, yeah. If you decide, here's the thing, Bateman. If you decide to do it, hit me up because I don't know if I have a coupon stuff on it, but if you do decide to get it and you want to get off of Lumi, hit me up in my DM so I can send you the link and get you set up. I do the affiliate program. It helps out my channel, but then I might have like a coupon or something that can go with you. So if you decide on it, let me know. I'll DM me and I'll hit you up. I'll get you what you need. Okay. All right. So it looks like we got another 2x16. I'm gonna scoot this over. I'm gonna scoot that up, and then I'm gonna start digging for it. So 4, 4, 4, and 4, and then a 2x6. And it's not, it's this green. So we got kind of a sage. That's a 2x8. Once we start getting some of these out of the way, it'll be a lot easier to dig for parts. But with all the big blocks and pieces, it gets kind of rough. Okay. This will go this way. There was one time, so when we were definitely, after I catch up on the Hasbro stuff, I'll definitely look into it. So I have the 84 Neutrona wand, and I know I've shown it before, but some people might not have seen it. So I have the old Spirit, it's the 80% scale Proton pack, and I've got, was it Spongeface McGee stuff in it, so that's, I've got like a lighting kit, block brick, everything in it. And then I think Taco Belly had the old Spirit thing on Thingiverse, so I had that part printed up with the bumper. And so I tried to make it as close to the 1989, 1990 GB2 pack with the belt and everything, with the actual click belt for the Alice frame and everything. And the wand was so small, and so like I actually had that printed up at, I think I found a 90 scale. It was like 92% scale, so it wouldn't oversize or undersize, because the original like Spirit pack was, I mean, the wand was teeny tiny. It was like 50% the size. So I had that printed up, rebuilt, rewired, put the right installation on it. Had to drag the wires out, do all sorts of stuff, rework things. I mean, it was a lot of work, but I actually thought about one point, I was like, I thought about getting the Hasbro pack, and I think they still have it up for pre-order, and I'm thinking about it, but I don't know how I'm going to square that one away with my wife, because it's the 84 pack, and I've got the 84 wand as well. You have 4 small Spirit packs, 1 full-size Spirit, the Afterlife pack, and just ordered the 84. Yeah, I ended up canceling my order, and it was a G.I. Joe classified thing. I got the was it the oh man, the it's round. I see it, the All Striker, because that was like one of those I had as a kid that I absolutely loved. It was one of those sets I put together with my dad, so it kind of means a lot to me, you know. And I can't open that one until Christmas. But when they first announced it, I did order the 84 pack, and I'm kind of debating. I'm still thinking I might try to go back and get it, but I also have, like, I'm behind on certain things. Like, I'm behind on taxes. I'm behind on all sorts of stuff. So it's like, I also don't want to push my luck right now. So I'm trying to decide on what I want to do. What do I do? What do I do? And it looks like Amazon Music turned off again. Good Lord, Amazon. You guys are a mess. Maybe it's the channel. Divine Sound 90s. Let's try this one. We'll try 90s Alternative to see if that does this any better. And it could be the internet, you know, because I paid more for better internet. So that means it's going to crash more. I think what it is so in our area we have Spectrum, right? It's not a bad price at all, which is another reason why I'm thinking I might just ask, be like, hey, I really, because I need to put this one not out to pasture, but it does a lot of like repair at this point. Like it's anytime I take it out, I'm feel like I'm always breaking something off. We recorded a video for our 31 days of Halloween with Denton for 4 and we get done, we're like running around the corner to chase this guy. We have our proton packs on, everything. And then one of the busters turns around and is like, hey, is this yours? And it's a part from my Neutronal one. I'm like, yep. So I was like, all right, let me take this and put a little glue, shoehorn it back on. And now you got a glue seam on there, which is unsightly. And like I said, that thing, my pack that I have has seen some stuff, you know. It's been all over the place, all over the DFW area. Been over into northeast Texas, so it's been over at Paris. But I have multiple suits. Seems like I always buy my next year's Christmas present from Hasbro and then wait forever again. Yeah, that's the problem sometimes with Hasbro, man. You order it and it's like, all right, now I'm just waiting forever at this point. That's how like the HasLabs, you know, because I was looking at the G.I. Joe, what is it, the Snowcat? I was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool set and everything, but come on, man, like that seems like it's already a year out before you get anything. It's like, just, I don't know if I really want to wait that long. I'm not a very patient person. I should be, but I'm not. And sometimes I'm not a patient person. It gets the worst of me in school, too. Alright. 2x8, 2x8, and a 2x6. I'll have to find what that was here in a minute. Hey. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take these big bricks out. Set them up there. And that's causing me some issues. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to see if that doesn't settle whatever's going on here. Okay. And then let me find out what I dropped. There it is. So a couple pieces. And those, you only... Oh, I can get my hair off it. Gross. That is only, you get those with Lumibricks. So that is one of those bricks that you have to have. Because they got the channels on it. So. Did get the Eagle Moss Ecto. Can't wait to build the thing. You can wait on anything. That's actually good. Hey, good afternoon. How are you? Brick Trucker? What's happening, my man? Alright, so I am... Let's see. This is going to go over here. We're going to find out if we really need that 6 or whatever. Ah, that's what it was. Okay. So that was one of the things. So there is they miscounted on the steps. So what it was is that they said that you needed a 2x6, but what it is, you actually need 2x8s. So that sounds like that was one of the things that was confusing people. That's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens, man. I've had instructions from all sorts of companies that didn't make sense, including Lego. I had a few weird misprints from Lego one year that I'm like, what in the world are they talking about? And it's interesting because they've got, yeah, no, that's right. And 2x6 goes there. Okay, so this is our plate, and it is actually 2 plates high, so it's 2/3 of a brick. Wow, look at that. Nice. Okay. And now we're starting to build on top. Now we can start digging. I still want to take these blocks out because some of these blocks are causing me issues. So we do need a 1x8. Let's see, 1x8 right there. A 1x4. If I can find it. Where'd you go? Again, let me take some of these out. I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. And it's sometimes if you got too many blocks in at one time, it's too much. Too much. Okay. Ahora. So 2 1x8. So 1x8, 2. A 1x1. Oh, that's right. Look. Looky there. Then I get the motorized Millennium Falcon from Bowers. It's wow. That's 11,000 pieces. Yeah. So I think it was Cassie that put together the was it NCS Falcon? That thing is ginormous. All right. So I was about to yell at Lumibricks. So Digging for Bricks posted something the other day where he was like, you know, you hit that moment, especially on your lives, where you're like, man, they cheated me apart, and you start getting mad, and then you're like, oh, there it is. I did the same thing. There it is. You have that one too? The UCS. Yeah, UCS. Yeah, that thing is massive. At this point, I was like, I could look into that, but I might have to sell one of my kidneys to A, afford it, and B, I'm going to have to sell some of my couch space to figure out where to put it. Now, we have a decent sized home. It's not like a small home, but we do have a lot of stuff. And I think that's where it's like, we kind of run into some issues of, where do we put this thing? Where do we want it to go? Okay. I seem to be running into another problem. So, I'm going to do this. I'm going to open this, and I'm going to see if I can't scan it for the computer for what we're doing. Another thing, so let's go to Lumibricks.com, and we'll see if we can't get it there. And I just say that because I seem to be running into some of the colors, because I'm looking and I don't have this one yellow plate. Let's see what pulls up there. PDF of Midnight Haunted. Let's see if they allow me to do that. Evan's helping me out right now. So, Lumi, it's always be fun hole to me. Dang it, yeah, I know, right? There we go. Here are the digital PDF manuals. Tip, you can also assist it by scanning QR code. Yeah, my friends, but guess what? Because I am on live with my phone, I really don't. The one area where I have actual people, I don't think I have anyone on the YouTube Twitch. I mean, they'll see it later, but most of the time, like, I don't get too much from them. No, I got cheap viewers from Streamboo. That's on my Twitch. I know it's on my Twitch because that's the only place I ever get that. Your Streamboo. All right, so I'll keep that PDF up there. I'll put this here, and I bet you they changed the color, probably from yellow to the slate gray, if it'll open. We might not get as far on this build as I was wanting. Couldn't preview file. There's a problem uploading the file. Good Lord. How about we open with, we'll say, Google Docs. We'll try that. Sorry, an error occurred. Okay, we'll try it with Lumen PDF. I think I've got Lumen on there. I have not done the record store. So I did recently, I did the skate shop, and someone had told me, they're like, hey, you got to do the record store. And I'm also looking at, there's the bookshop that's part of the Town Life, which I was really looking at too. I was like, that would actually be a pretty solid build as well. It money wise right now, it's like I've got some cheap stuff that I'm building to put into the city, and then I gotta kind of like start looking at spaces. But record stores on my list, and the bookstore is also on my list right now. I have to have permission. Are you kidding me? I gotta have permission. Hey, see you, Aikman. I gotta have permission to get on to send code. Let's see if they send it to me there, or if they're making me jump through. Yeah, man, like, it's like I want to get them, and if I got 3 sets, there's the game stack, there's the monorail, and then there's skip for now. There's the game stack, the monorail, there's the Yakuza house, and there's something else. Hi. Okay, I might have to, darn, they kind of got me. I probably should have been a little more prepared about this one. And I don't have an iPad anymore either. So here's what's going on. I've got a color problem with my plates. I got plates that aren't the right color. And I've got 1x2 plates, so that's not that big of a deal, right? But what I don't have is I don't have yellow ones. Now, I have yellow plates that came with the car, but that's bag 15. They go with the car. And I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe they want to switch out the plates for the other plates, but I don't want to run out of plates. And it's like this one stinking little thing here. You know what? I bet you I've got a yellow one over here. What I would like to avoid doing is I'd like to avoid having to take this whole thing apart to replace one piece or part. But I also don't want it to be that I've got one thing. So what we're going to do is this. We've got one hidden yellow Lego brick that's going to go in here. So here's what's going on. This is, I think, the old copy of the instructions, okay, which is not that big of a deal. They have where you can download the instructions by scanning it on your phone. Again, not that big of a deal. Except this. I use my phone to talk to TikTok. I record on my TikTok platform the build so that way you can see it. For some reason, I can't get Restream to do my YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, or YouTube, Twitch, sometimes Instagram, to work. It doesn't accept TikTok for some reason. It's like I've got to do another plugin to do a whole new format, to do a whole nother piece, so to get everything reformatted and done, which I haven't figured out how to do. Well, not that big of a deal, except the instruction manual is the old manual, and there's some misprints and mistakes. So this one plate could actually just be that it's a gray 1x2 plate. But I don't know. And I probably will need this plate down the road. And I have had a missing part from one set before. So it's like one of those, I can take a brick from another set that's just floating out there and throw it in there as a yellow set, which is what I'll probably do. But then now it's like, okay, now let me find the rest of my parts And I'm thinking one of two things. Either there's something really wrong with the instructions and we're going to have to stop and reassess and come back to it, or I'm missing a bag somewhere. So let me give me a minute. Let me look in the box, make sure I don't have another number 1 bag. It is on step 17. So step 17 is the step, and it's a yellow brick. Okay, so we've got 8, 4, 9, 5, 13. So let's do this. I'm going to pull this up over here. I'll put all these bags up here with me. Just to make sure I didn't miss a bag, I'm going to go through each one of these bags, make sure I got what I got. All right, so 10, 5, 14, 4, 4, 12, 10, 11, 8, 6, 13, 10, 8, 5, 6, 8, 12, 14. Let me be pretty quick about saying, yeah, usually within about 5 days I get them. 13, 7, 12, 4, 11, 5, 7. Man, that's a cool looking brick. Okay, I got sidetracked. 9, 11, 5, 3, and 3. 3. Ah! You see what? I'm gonna hold out my hand like this. Okay? You're witnessing it. Bad, bad, bad Taylor. Another number 1 bag right there, bro. And I'm stressing, you know, here's the thing. Building in real time. Bro, building in real time. Of course, now Evan's like, are you okay? What's going on? I'm here to help you with your build. I'm like, oh, bro, I got it. This is user error right here. Right here, firsthand, user error. You know, if this is a time you can make me, if you want to hit them likes to help me out, I'm gonna appreciate it, because this is, I might start crying because look at what I did to myself. All right, so I went ahead and put my 1 generic, Brick Vision at step 17. And here's the thing, I'm looking at it. Guess, look, right there, a yellow 1x2 brick. The one that I'm stressing on, the one that I'm like, why? And it's right there. If we don't get that far today, it is straight up all my fault. Absolutely my fault. Absolutely. All right, we got a 1x2. Lord have mercy on me. You know what? Sometimes I gotta have that prayer where I'm like, hey, bless the idiot that is in this vessel, because I mess up so often, and I'm really quick. Again, that whole patience thing, I'm really quick to be like, oh, ooh. And I need to have a little bit more calmer spirit about me, is really what it comes down to. All right, so in here, I know I've got a 1x4. That's my last little piece. And once I move past 17, which has now become my absolutely unlucky number in life, there we go. we'll move on. hey, hey, enjoy your dinner. Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy this build. It's been yeah. Hey, I'll get there. I'll get there. Once I get past this, I'll get there. It'll be good. Hey, enjoy your dinner. Have a good one. All right, so we want to go down from this center plate right here. I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2 down. Place that there. So we got 1 by 8, a 1 by 4, a 1 by 3 tile, a 1 by 1 plate, a 1 by 8 here on the end, and that stinking 1 by 2 yellow tile. I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe, I'm glad I put the car together first, Oy vey, man. I'm messing with other people about them getting distracted, on some of these lives, but look at me, and I'm doing the same exact thing. 18, 19, now we're trucking along. God. Can't believe I did that. And on a live, too. If Digging for Bricks was on here, he'd be laughing at me right now. He'd be like, yep. I'm so glad I didn't contact them. Be like, hey, you're missing a brick. They would go back and see this. They'd be like, why does he contact us so much? Come to find out, no, man, it ain't him. It's not us. It's him every single time. Though I will say the cowboy camp was like I got a 1 by 6, and it should have been a 1 by 5, and they got it to me. It was in about 5 days. No, I'd say it was closer to. It took about 14 days. That one took a little bit to get there. We've all done it. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make it feel any better that we've all done it, but I know. I have Lego in my Lumi and vice versa. Well, and here's the thing. Sometimes I'll I just got to put a brick in there. So you put a brick in, and then you get done, and then there's like that one Lumi brick left over. You're like, do I really want to go back and fix that at this point? It's like, oh, and when I don't, I'm very OCD about some of that, and so I will just sit there and stress it. Like, yeah, just go back, just do it. I'm like, I don't want to do it. When do I have time? Okay, so we are starting with our first wire set. Let me make sure I get the right one. Okie dokie. I know. Okie dokie artichoke. I know it's not this one. It's this one, I believe. I can't still, man. Really? Depends on where it's at for me. Yeah. If it's like way, 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 way back, it's like, I might just have to live with it. I don't know. There have been times I've been so OCD enough that it's like, yeah, I gotta. Like with the wagon, I think I switched out a few bricks and I moved like the carriage box forward. It was halfway through the build. And so I was like, we got to move on. We got to do it. Just kind of get it done. And so I was like, well, I'll order the brick and go back and redo it at some point. And when the brick finally came in, it was about 2 weeks later, right? So I was super grateful. I was like, hey, it's here, yay! And I was looking, and I had to take half of that wagon, the chuck wagon, apart just to get to that one spot. And I'm like, okay, I might not ever do this again, because it was trying to get the wire guided back through. Because like with a lot of Lumis, when you do it, you're also like, you're pulling out like wire kits. You're doing all sorts of stuff and I know but some people on here, they don't know, like, when you're working with wire kits and stuff, you also have like wires to deal with. You've got especially bricks that hide things, and so yeah, it's quite a bit to it. Okay, let me find a 1x2. This is a 1x2 tile, the actual one that I was going to place down, the one I need over here. I'm going to have to keep that in mind. When I go on someone's live and I'm messing with them, I'm going to have to remember this moment and really, really humble myself. like really humble myself. All right, I'm gonna head back over to this so I can look and make sure I don't have anything I'm missing. Yikes. Okay. So we need a 1x6 and a 1x1, and we're actually doing bricks this time. So we're on 21. Once we spent enough of a half of an hour of madness doing the other thing, now we can move on. Okay, we do have a gap and a space. I'm gonna kind of move that up here. Let's switch some things around. This is one of those where it's like I don't think I was really thinking about how much space this was gonna take today. All right, 21. We're going to 22. So we need a yellow brick. That's a 1x2 yellow brick. It looks like a couple of these like little channels, and it looks like some actual bricks. So look, I love the texture bricks on these. So one of those, a 1x1, which is a regular 1x1 brick, or no, 1x4, and then a 1x4 channel. It's in here. Calm down, Taylor. I know what's in there. Am I counting that correctly? This and this. And this. And then one more channel. And it has to be a channel because it's supposed to pull out. Ah, found it. Okay. So yeah, I think this is like the battery area where this whole thing is supposed to like pull out. And with Lumi, you almost have to look ahead a few steps and sometimes figure out placement. Yeah. Yep, most definitely. Well, and it's because of the wire setup. The extra with the wire setup is usually where we run into problems. Which again, you know, I love it, and I love, like, I wouldn't affiliate myself with them if I didn't like the brand, and I love the brand. But it's definitely one of those that it sometimes, like, I question my choices where I'm looking at, I'm like, what, wait, why, what did I do? 2x6, a 1x4. We got this really cool, so we got our first printed tile, which is this cool stone. Look at there. Nice. Hold that up for you all. Stone. Look at that. And then we got a 1x2 plate in dark gray. And we got this cool, I call them like the L tiles, but it's an L tile with a corner on it. Look at that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Now, wire aside, we want to count. I might have to do an overhead and look at this. So we got 1, 2 out. Right. Nope. Here, right? Yes. I'm going to do it like this so I can see it a little bit better. 1 right here. This goes right up here. And then it looks like 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4 up. This one goes right up here. And then this is going to go right on the end there. Okay. So, one thing I do like, and I know YouTube, Twitch, you all can see it over here on the book, but for those, if you're on the fence, they do sometimes give you a bird's eye view of where to work on the sets, which is pretty genius. And Lego does the same thing, but I do get some off-brands where they don't even turn the model for you. They're adding to the back, and you're like, what? I was offered to be a KC, but I need to find the time. Hey, you know what, though? It's well worth it. It is. There was something that they wanted us to post, like a video for Street Fusion, because that's the big one they're doing. Ended up getting about 50 extra points to put in towards a coupon. So I'm like, working up to my next $20 off coupon, because I am thinking that I might start looking towards that bookstore, because I got the bus stop, and so after I build that, review it, and then get that money in, then I'll probably do like another thing for some more points. The KOC allows us to do some extra pieces here and there, extra work for them, and we usually get rewarded in points. I think I made, like, it's not a lot, it's like $13, but the I'll probably turn that money back around and put it into another set. I just got to figure out how to get the payout on it. That's the thing right now, is I haven't reached out to find out when I get paid for it, or like how I get that money. And I know TikTok, they, I got money from the live finally from the month, and I put that, so that money went to my PayPal, and I was like, yes, finally I got paid. I got this money. This is sweet. I'm gonna put this towards a set. And I looked at PayPal, and my balance was 0, and I'm like, dude, what is going on? And I had looked and had forgotten that I did not set up. So I've got like Amazon, or not Amazon, Disney Plus, a couple of our like Netflix stuff. They all go through my PayPal. And I did not take it to where I set it up to where payment goes through bank instead of through balance. And so it pulled the balance. So TikTok posted the money for, what I earned from doing the lives. It's like, sweet. And then Disney took it right after to put into their streaming service. And here's the thing, I don't even watch, that's my family. They watch that stuff. I don't even watch Disney Plus and all that. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, this is actually a paying gig now. So you gotta respect that, yo. She's like, it's partially paying. I'm like, yeah, it's money. Money is money. And I'm thankful that it helped out. And there's, for good reason, that it went through Disney. I don't know what it is. I gotta trust the process. I gotta trust what God says about it. But it doesn't make the fact that I lost my money to Disney Plus any better. And I say that because, like, I was, seeing what happened with Alien Earth. Oh, God. I could not watch that show. It's like, I was super excited, too. I was like, man, I love Alien. I love Predator. I can't wait to see what they do with it. And then they started doing it, and I'm like, please sell 20th Century Fox and give it back to somebody else. Give it to Warner Brothers at this point. Like, get rid of it. You destroyed Star Wars. You destroyed Indiana Jones. I did not like what they did with Dr. Jones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And I have not been too happy with them. And so, but I can't get rid of the service because my family watches it. They love it. Even though and don't get me wrong, there's some things like pretty much. Like, I loved Andor. Don't get me wrong. Like, Andor, even season 2, I liked it. And I loved season 1 of Andor. It was good. I liked Rogue One. I really enjoyed it. There's parts of Solo that I like, but all in all, like, I'm not the quintessential, like, I don't see it and it's like, this is an amazing flick. To me, it was entertaining, and I was like, this is a nice step in the direction for doing some Han Solo stuff. And I love Han Solo, It's quirky, it was fun, but it also at some points felt a little too silly. Followed a lot of lore. It was kind of like people just kind of doing their own thing, which I'm fine with. It's, just put it in the canon. But then the whole droid thing was like, it's kind of, there are parts of this, like, you kind of went over the top for no reason. And, did we need to have it in there? No. Did you put it in there? Yes. Can you take it back? You can at this point. So, they're fighting with Google at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of corporate stuff that just feels kind of wild right now. Kind of wild. Like they're boning up for something wild going on. And you know, I stopped following certain things that were going on with the industry because I was watching what was going on and seeing what they were doing, and I started kind of getting mad about stuff, and I was like, I can't just sit here and be mad all the time. That doesn't feel very healthy. And so I started getting to a point where it's like I'm gonna kind of step away. I'm gonna back away. I'm gonna ignore some of it. And again, with like Alien and Predator, you know, I was like, hey, you know, now that they got Alien, and when I turned around and saw that Predator Badlands finally released, I was like, yes, been wanting to go see that, and I might still go and see it. And then I heard that it's essentially a kid-friendly buddy cop movie, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm not sure. I'm not, and I'm trying to decide right now if I want to spend, you know, because going to the movie is expensive. Last time I went with my kid, he and I went. We took his friend. We went to go see Black Phone 2, which surprisingly, Black Phone and Black Phone 2, it's pretty solid movie. I enjoyed it. It's got some really good scares in it. Little confused about the ending. I mean, I see where they're going with it, and I see what they were thinking, but it's little ending I felt could have had a little bit more to it, unless they're doing it for another reason. But you know, by the time we got done with food, getting, you know, because we get candy sometimes, sneak it in just because of the cost. Though, interestingly enough, the candy was cheap. The drinks and the popcorn was over the top. But we ended up spending, I think it was like 100 something. It was like almost $50 on a matinee for 3 tickets, and then about 40 something dollars on 2 Powerades, a drink. And so I was like, all right. So for me, I'm trying to decide on if I really want to go watch Predator Badlands in the theater or just wait for it to go to streaming. And I want to support it because, you know, I love Predator, and I love, you know, the series. I kind of enjoyed the animated show. Like I was like, okay, I can kind of get behind this. It's kind of cool. And I know that this ties into it and everything, but I'm also trying to decide if I want to blow that money on that, or put it on like a set, or even get the HasLab pack. It's about $50 for 2 people where I live. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's ridiculous that it costs so much for tickets. But you got that, and then now we have to buy the tickets online. So there's a service fee for that. There's you know, there's all this money pouring into it, and this is something that someone was doing like an expose about. You know, like, hey, this is why some of the movie industry is failing and what's going on, because it's like one of those things. I'm going to spend all this money, and then I don't know, especially judging on what's been out recently, I don't know if it's even going to be any good. So it's like, for me, it's like, do I really, if Disney Plus is already taking my money and stealing from me from the TikTok lives that I do, I still can't get over that. But if that's the case, and then I'm going to go to a movie, and I'm not sure if I'm going to walk out throwing stuff and trying to fight people out in the middle of the street because I hated it so much. Which I don't do that. I'm just playing about that. But if I'm going to be so mad about it when I'm done, it's like, well, I could have just saved my money. So I know there's kind of like that, well, there's your answer there. But like I said, I'm debating it. I'm thinking about it. It's like I want to see it. At the same time, I don't. It's gonna make me cry, Disney. It's drowned in my ice box. 3 and 3, that's 6. Okay. Let me choose. Alright, so we need, this one's going to go right here on the end. here. This one goes here. Do you know what happens when you put a block, when you snap a block in the wrong place? You get a snap foo. Don't acknowledge that one. Don't acknowledge it. It was a bad joke. It was awful. A snap foo. Okay, we got, of course, our, let's see, we've got a round towel with a snot on it. Boom. A kind of grassy green 1x2. Looks like we're getting some more of our printed bricks. So it looks like we're building kind of the entryway of this. So 1 printed, 2 printed. I'm going to turn that over just a little bit like that. There we go. Another printed one over here. Looks like I just said dad jokes. Yeah. There are times, and I will troll my students in class too with them. Like the other day, they came to school and they're like, well, I can't be in PE because I brought my Crocs instead of wearing my shoes. I was like, well, that was a dumb choice. Like, well, I wasn't thinking. I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I kind of looked at him. I was like, hey, man, you know what a frog's favorite shoes are? And he's like, what? It's like open-toed sandals. And they'll just stare me down like, I cannot believe you just said that to me. And I'll just follow them around the room, just tell all these jokes, as many as I can remember at the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one goes, I believe, here, right? Yep, 5 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now that I have that one placed, I can count these out. So this should go 1, 2, 4 up, right? Right. No. One more up. Goes right there. One more up. Okay. 1. And then this should go. I might have to turn this like that. Yeah. And then kind of keeping this as my roadmap. 1 down right there. Okay. And I'll show you kind of what we got so far. So there we go. So they do that overhead map, really helps on figuring out where those little plates and tiles and things go. So this is probably the bay window. This should be the back. This might be the entryway. No, this is the bay entry, side battery pack, and then this is like the courtyard area. I'd looked at one point. I was trying to decide on if I wanted behind the newsstand, if I wanted to do the little park with the Mega Maid statue, or if I wanted to find like a little like a graveyard set. Actually, at one point I had from Dollar Tree, the Make It bricks. They had a bunch of the like zombie slash, cryptic tombstone things, and I can't remember what I did with them. I packed them somewhere. If I can find them, I'll probably put that in the back with like some trees and stuff and have like a little graveyard and do the fencing around it. But I can't remember if I want to say I kept them, but I packed them somewhere. And so if I find that, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll figure something else out. But I was like, a little graveyard back there would be kind of cool with some trees, like some old gnarly trees. And I can use some of my stuff from my plum blossom to build that out and build that up that way. All right. So here we go. We've got, that's done. We're back over to our light kit. So I'm going to turn this. Which way am I going? Here. Okay. So this goes here. Okay. And then it looks like we're going to be laying our first brick. Oh, we need a new light string. Well, that's kind of weird that we got 2 light strings in one pack right now. It's Friday. I'm in love. Okay, here we go. So, we've got this extra long one right here. Look at that. So, let's make sure this is the one. We've got pin, plate, barrel, plate. Let's see. Barrel and stud. That's the one. Okay. So this is going to go right over here. So where this is, it looks like we're going one down over. This is going to go right in here. If I pack bricks, I never find. Well, like I said, I had them, and I was like, I know I've given. I couldn't remember. I was like, I don't think I gave him my graveyard set. It was something I did. It's actually, you can find the review on YouTube. It's an old review. This is probably like I don't know, like 4 or 5 years back at this point, and I bought all the little graveyard and zombie sets I could. And I had these sets, and I remember putting them together and playing, and, you know, like, oh, having a fun time, this sort of thing. And then I got done, and I usually put them in a bin. And I was like, well, I'll come back to it. And it might be somewhere up here. I'd have to look. I'd have to clear some space. And maybe I can do that this afternoon. But it was like one of those where I don't remember giving it to my kid. And, you know, I've had kits and stuff that I've like, here, you can take this, put it with your Legos. It seems like I remember keeping. I just can't remember where I put it. And it's, like I said, it's probably somewhere up there on a shelf that I'm just like missing at this point. And I'm pretty sure I still have it. And if I do still have it, that'll be what I end up putting into the into behind like the newsstand to the side of this haunted mansion. Because I mean, they're Dollar Tree, so it's not that big of a deal. But you can't find them anymore. And they were pretty solid builds. They were fun. Okay. And then this is going out this way. Okay, I see what I'm doing. Alright, so I need one of my wire guides. And we're looking at this wire right here. So I think what they have is where we're not having to worry too much about where the wires go under here, because I believe this all plates up and it's going to be sitting up above it. Hi, Noah. See, look, I remembered this time. Well, well, well. What's up, Noah? You guys come to mess with me again? I'm sure there's about to be some craziness going on. Uh-huh. Hey, La Flaca, how are you? Hi, River. Okay. So I got this one brick. It seems kind of weird that we've got this much going on for this one little thing, but it is there. So we're drawing our line out, drawing it out this way, putting a plate down. It is set. And looks like we're doing another wire guide. So let's find our other wire plate. This one, right, cha. And this time it's these lights that are going out this way. Across this way, and where are we snapping that line to? We're snapping it right over here. Okay. So we're going to pull this. This is going to snap to here. Okay. So we got, of course, a line up at the front. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Noah, are you saying something that you're not supposed to be saying? Just thinking. Thinking out loud here. I'm wondering. How are we on time? 2 hours in, and I'm still not through bag 1. I've been playing too much. Well, then I had the snafu of the fact that I missed one of my bags. Maybe. Maybe. Yep. Okay. So our barrel piece is going to go over here. It's going to snap to there. And get it the right way. So one of the people in my chat on TikTok is actually my son's friend, who they like to play around with me, like to jump in on my fame. Playing on that one. Hey, Master Patel. All right, now Looks like we need another one of our plates. Okay. So grab another one of our plates. You know, honestly, I'm thinking, so I know that's a tough one for me. I'm thinking I might only today get through bag 1 at this point. But if I do, and that's all I get, at least I got the Ghostbuster car done, which means that I might make it to where when I do the lives during the week, I'll also pick it up and work on those as well. So that way I can make sure that I'm getting this build done. Because I'd like to see this one finished. I think this one will be a fun one. Okay. And that's going to go up and over here. So again, working with any of the wire works, you want to make sure that you're working with the wires as best as you can to make sure you don't snag anything. And then you've got specialty bricks that holds everything down. So that being said, you really want to pay attention to what you're doing. Let's see. I'm checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I didn't. Okay. Did I miss anything on that one? Nope. They're still trying to get me for cheap viewers for Stream Boo. Ain't gonna happen, man. Alright, we got one more. And this one, this time, it looks like it's gonna go right up over here. So this is gonna, that one goes on the end. This one's gonna go up here. And where is that going to go? 1, 2. So it goes in line down here. So 1 and 2. So no, I'm surprised you hadn't reached out to E to find out what he's doing. I hear him out there. It sounds like he's doing something. So who knows what you guys did. I did. So that's one of the first things. I try to test the wires on all of it. Check the plates, check the wires, make sure everything's going. Mine on the Lighthouse of Alexandria shorted out right after turn on. Oh no, that's the Lighthouse of Alexandria. That's a Lego set, isn't it? Is that through the Bricklink? I'm not familiar with that one. I'm pretty sure it's a big set though. If it's the Lighthouse of Alexandria, I have a feeling it's a big set. All right. So we got a 1x1 brick. We got a 1x4 brick, and we're going baby steps at this point. So this is going to go here. That's going to go here. Making sure I'm not snagging anything over there. And now we're building up. So 37, we got a 1x5, and then 2 of these 1x1s. Nope, it's the Fun Hole set from ID. It's a Fun Hole set. I had to go back and look at that one. I don't think was that an older set or is that a newer set? I'm not familiar with that one. Because now you're speaking my language. Fun Hole, so Fun Hole Lumibricks and a lighthouse, because I do need a lighthouse. And I've been sizing up a few older brands. There was also like a clock tower I was looking at. And so I've been, because where I have like the, I wanted to have the cheese farm at some point, and I was going to build like the harbor out. It's for one of the first sets they made. It retired a year ago. Okay. Well, it's not available now, so maybe I won't do a lighthouse. But yeah, they've fixed their game quite a bit. That's I've heard that when they first started, they had a few issues here and there with brick lights and everything, but these all turned on. And I would say for me at this point, if it burnt out, I'd probably fix it. Like get the replacement, fix it, do it that way. But I think now that I know that I have made a mistake in opening, an extra bag, I could probably be okay rebuilding some of this. I say that now. I have a feeling I'd be like, I don't know. There's somewhere available in Germany. That's where I got mine. Okay. That'd be kind of, okay. You know what? Man. Brick Trucker, why in the world are you telling me this? Because now it's like, huh, I could go to a German site and look it up and get it. Knowing that if I do, I'm going to be putting some heavy strain on my relationship right now. Brother, you're going to get me in trouble. I'm going to be trolling your page here pretty soon. No, you good, man. You don't have to be sorry. I gotta have what do they call it? Biblically speaking, self-control. I do not have it. It's like I need it. I don't got it. I should use it. And I don't seek it enough, I don't think. I think that's my problem. Hey. But yeah, if you come across the link, because I think you've DM'd me before, so if that's the case, and you come across that link, shoot it over to me. I want to see what's there and see kind of what they're looking at for costs, because that might be that. I don't know, man. That might be 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be a solid thing to have. I have no self-control or willpower. You're not the only one, man. I'm not gonna be pointing any fingers. Dude, I stay in trouble with that one. Always. Alright. So we got a number 8 here. Let's find our number 8. So this is a cool part of the Haunted Mansion, Midnight Haunted Mansion. They have a dancing floorboard part where you've got these floorboards that will rock up and down in, I think it's like the kitchen area, I believe. That's why he has so many sets in storage. Yeah. I'm building a bit of a backlog here, and my thing is like I don't really have a place to put a lot of backlog. I got in trouble because I had it all out in the living room, and I got told, I was like, fix it fast, because it's not working for me. I was like, yes, ma'am. But I'm trying to cut it down just a little bit, kind of like the Music Factory. Yep, we got all those CDs, and you're just waiting. All right, and I should have a gear in here as well. So this thing has this really cool play feature that in the kitchen area, it's got all these boards that when you roll this thing, it's got arms underneath, and it'll make the floorboards dance like it's possessed. Yeah, the floor moves. I know. I'm excited about, because this is like the technic part of the build, which I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. So I love. So initially I was like, hey. I'm not sure, if I can afford it and everything. And I saw that the floorboard moved, the Ghostbuster car, the possessed TV, and like the peekaboo ghost in the pantry. I was like, all right, I'm sold, man. It's gonna be one of those sets that I'm gonna love and hate it at the same time. I think my hate for the set actually comes from the fact that I did not look to see that I was on the right bag, or that I had opened everything. Again, my own fault. But I have a feeling I'm going to love this set when it's done. It's going to be like one of those, it's like I'm going to absolutely dig everything about this set. So we're going to snap that into place. Move it out a little bit, and then yeah, that's what's going to make our floorboards dance. Floorboards dance. Okay, so we got 2 of these black 1x3s. That's it for this step. I'm gonna pop these on, and I'm kind of wondering, once I get past everything from bag 1, like I might change my tone when I hit bag 2. Maybe I don't know. I want to get the floorboards done. Okay, now we're building the floorboard portion. So we've got the moving arms here. So I don't know here. Let me hold it up so you can see it. So right there, you've got these dancing arms, and you'll have floorboards on it. So once that's built, let's hold that up and take a look at it, because I think that'll be a super, super, super fun play feature. We got a number 7 this time. So number 7, nope. Do 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 do. Mama told me was young. All right, my only son. You know, here's the thing. I'm not big on Skinner, but this is that one song that is like my absolute jam. Made my kid listen to it too. Do 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 do. Okay, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. 2 of these. 1, 2, and it looks like I need one more 1 by 1 tile. And they will pass. And you'll find love gets on to someone up above. Demand. Alright, and then now we're doing a little bit longer board. But understand. So what they've done, it's actually kind of cool. They've done this like little trick where they've got these boards just sitting on this. So every time a thing's gonna roll up, it's gonna pop a board up. But they're gonna probably set into place. So now we need 2 more. So we've got 1, 2. Rich man's gold. 2 of these tiles. So I got 2 1 by 1 tiles. We've got a 1 by 4 with a 2 stud up tile. 1, 2. Another one of these. Is that it? We also need a 1 by 3. I missed that one. There it is. Alright. And let me figure out where everything goes. So we got this, a 1 by 4, a little brick here, and I think this one's got a minifig that's going on it. So I think this is the house owner is going on that minifig, which will be, again, pretty cool. I like that they've got this stuff where they got it set up as a model, but then you can remove them down the road and put them somewhere else. But I like that sort of nice little nod and touch. And that would explain why he's got the scared look on his face. Know what I mean? Okay, so here we go. Now we need another one of these service hole bricks. There we go. That one. Another one of these Technic stoppers in yellow. And then a 1 by 6 in black. Alright. Put that on here. This goes on the end. And this snaps, it looks like, to the bottom of this. So this will be a fun little part. Let me get this built and then we'll take a look at it, okay? Hey Pancho, how are you? Hope your day is going well. Alright. So this will snap onto here. Okay. So here's the dancing floorboard. So if we were to turn this, these things are going to bounce up and down like little fingers tapping like this, right? So if you put your little minifigure on there, he's, you know, throw his arms up, he's like, ah, because the floorboards in the kitchen are bouncing all over the place. Which is a cute little cute little addition. They didn't have to put that in, but the fact they put it in and still made it kind of playful. Lumi, I love you. I do. I really do. All right. So we got a 2x6, a 2x2, and then it looks like a 1x2, but it's a 1x2 and it's too tall. Oh, I need 2 of those yellow bricks. Okay. So 1, 2. We're going to snap this over to this guy. This is going to go right on the... Okay. And now it looks like we're building... Looks like some more Technic stuff. This might be... Oh, I see. This is so there's a gear on the back that's going to allow it to turn and do its thing. So... I like my own stuff. Oh, just ignore me. All right, here we go. So we need a number 4, which we got there. So number 4. 2 of those Technic stoppers. 1, 2, and 1 of these. So a long time ago, when we were first house hunting, our realtor was actually a friend's dad. He was helping us out, and he's a realtor too, by the way. And we went to all sorts of places, right? We were checking out all sorts of different places to go and live, and it was before we found this place. Well, what was interesting, we need 1, 2 of these, and let me grab 6 of these 1x2 plates. Anyway, so we were searching around, and we came across some pretty interesting places that, you know, because we had a budget. It's first time buying. We're going to be in our first house, and we're actually still in the very first house that we found, you know, but we shopped around. And it's interesting how a house almost has like a personality or like a life to it, right? So what happened was that we would meet up with him. He'd call us like, hey, I think I found a place for you. Come check it out. I'm like, all right. And there's one that we went to that had kind of this cool mud room, which I liked. I was like, it's kind of cool. But you could tell that it was at some point a doctor's office because the backyard was all concrete. It was on this, you know, service slope of a road, and the mud room and everything, it was set up, it felt more like it was like a masseuse parlor, right? So I was like, all right, well, we could look at this, and maybe we'll look into this one and look at it. But then it found out it was what's called like I think a fast sell, or it was like one of those where like the bank owns it and people are just bidding on it real fast, and then it moves on. So it's kind of hard to get paperwork set up for that sort of stuff. And so, you know, we didn't get that one. So he's like, well, I'll keep looking. I'm like, all right. So we get this one call, and I'm bringing this up because this reminds me of this Haunted Mansion thing, right? Quick Dead. Yeah, that's what they're called. Yep. And so we go to this one place. Now this is kind of tucked back, right? So this house that we go to, it's really strange. You go in, and obviously living room, and there's one doorway going back towards like the bedrooms, one doorway that goes into like the kitchen. So it's like kitchen, and then a side room, and then a side room, and then a bathroom, which is like this long hallway. So it's almost like loops around like this, and then it's like one long hallway. And on this hallway, it's like one wall, and then there's shower, toilet, and sink all along this one wall. I guess they have like the pipe running in this one area, which not a problem, except we don't know what's on the other side of the wall, because room-wise, there's not enough room for the other room where we're at. And so all these things connect, and each room has a corner room, and then it's kind of like a center wall, so a standard wall in the center. So this whole place, we walk in, I mean, there's a vibe to it. It's all really, really dark, like the darkest wainscoting. Every single wall's got dark wainscoting or paneling on the wall. And I mean, it's old, and this thing is, each room is lit by this one singular light bulb fixture in the room, and every single one seems like it's probably like a 40-watt bulb in it. This thing is really dark. Well, we're going through and we're looking at everything, and my wife was just kind of shaking her head at me. She's like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm telling her, like, listen. She's like, well, what do you think? I'm like, I got the worst vibe from this place. I don't think this is our place. She's like, yeah, but it's in our budget. I'm like, hey, budget's one thing, but there comes a point when it's like, I'm debating this one. Like, I'm really debating. I don't want to be in here anymore. And so we're kind of looking around. She's like, the bathroom's just weird. I'm like, it's got this awful vibe to it. It's like going down like a galley hallway to the bathroom. And so, and it was only like one bathroom in this 4-bedroom home or whatever. And so we're about to head out, and I decided to go look in the front closet, or the entryway closet. And I look up and I open the door and I look up on the top shelf, and there's this really weird goat man statue up on the top shelf. And I started to reach up, and something said, don't do it, don't touch, don't go there. And so I pulled back and I looked at it, and I kind of looked at my wife. I was like, yeah, this is not the place. And so we ended up leaving. I've been trying to find that place because it's like I wanted to go back and do an investigation of it, but I can't remember who was there. Like someone was murdered. Their Linda vibe. Yeah, it was strange. It was like the whole place. It was heavy, right? So it felt like it was like this, almost like surrounding like heavy darkness that was just in the place. And it just had kind of the worst sort of feeling about it. And I was like, yeah, this is not not the place where we need to stay. And it ended up, we searched around for a little bit longer trying to find places. When we found this place, what was interesting is when we found the place that we're in now, we walked in, and he opened the door, and the way the light was shining in, just the whole vibe of the place, I said, this is it. This is our house. It's our home. And I walked into this place, and it felt like I'd been here for years. Just absolutely the vibe of the place, the energy in the house. And what people joke about, the energy of the house, but it's a real thing, And so when I saw it, and I saw the light shining in, I saw how everything was. It's like, this is where I want to raise my family. And there's a couple places that we had some issues here and there. Like our master bedroom shower, that was like one of those kind of weird places, right? So it had this weird kind of like tile work that was like a ramp, and there was like wood rod all along the bottom of the baseboards, trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out, one of the owners at one point had, I think, gotten in an accident and had lost the use of its legs, and so they had to tile in the bathroom, right? And you'd walk in the bathroom, and it was weird. You'd walk in the bathroom, and my legs, it doesn't do it anymore, but my legs would go numb. And I would get really sad. And that was like one of those things that's like, I'm debating on this. But I was like, it's not too bad, And then in my kid's bedroom, I was like, it's kind of not angry, but it feels like a lot of drama, right? Just kind of like high tension drama. And come to find out, doing research, so this room that I'm in now was the kids' room. It's a very playful room. Our bedroom is just bedroom, mom, dad vibes, nothing about it. The bathroom where they did the tile, and how I used to feel, that bathroom, the original owner had an accident, couldn't feel his legs, and they had to tear out the shower and rebuild it with tile for a ramp for his wheelchair. And that's how I would feel in that shower. I'd feel like my legs would feel like I couldn't feel them, and it was kind of sad. And after we had the shower redone, that feeling went away. It was almost like it was imbued in the actual shower and nothing else. And then my kid's room, where he's at, when we were going through and cleaning and tearing, we found all this love letter stuff written on like the shelves. They were written down on the shelves, and so we kind of painted over some of that, and now it doesn't feel that way anymore. But that also could be because he's also a teenager, so he's all angsty now. He's not quite a teenager, but he's on his way. But yeah, it's weird how that sort of vibe kind of carries in on your house. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna show you this. Okay, so they did provide a knob on the back of the house, and then that turns that. This, I think, is going to turn the sofa. How cool is that? Again, it's the little things. It's a modular. You wouldn't normally see it, but it just, those little touches are subtle, nice, beautiful. They make me smile. Yay! Good times. I'm so happy now that we've moved past step 17, and the fact that I'm not gonna say I don't know how to read. I do, but I gotta learn how to slow down and pay attention. Okay, got that done. Right, 55. We got one green 1x2 plate, a 1x10, a 1x1, and a 1x4 plate here. And it looks like we're just fixing these, snapping that stuff together, snapping that together, and then building out this wall over here. And I'll just move the wires over this way. 1 and 1 and done. And now 1, 2, and 3, and 1 and 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and say at this point, yeah, I mean it's looking good. I like this. So besides for the amount of time it took to get to this step, so step 17 took a while because idiot Tay here did not pay attention to the fact that there was one more bag of bricks that I hadn't opened. So that was the first issue. The second issue was that didn't realize there's like 5 bags just in what's called bag 1. And they're not all packed together. They're all individuals, right? But just in the first big step, the first chapter, there's 5 bags in that. So there's quite a bit. And that's one thing that... So when I did the Arcrea, the Sheffield house, they had bags where it was like, step 1, or the first part of it was like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. And there's a part of me that kind of thinks that Lumi should also do the same for their bags. I know it's a little bit more, but, I'll send you a pic of my current set. Dude, please. I want to see it. I want to see it. What are you building right now, by the way? Is it done? My bags. Yeah. Well, like I said, the first chapter of this, I was like, bag 1 is technically 5 bags, and I have missed one of the bags. Was it 5? Trucker, was it 5 or was it 4? I think it was 5 because there's like one extra little bag. I had it up here, but I didn't put it with the stuff. I didn't open it. I didn't pay attention, which is not uncommon. Okay. We're going to put this on. We're going to truck along here. Da ba-doom, ba-da-boom. And now we need these big yellow bricks. So our big yellow bricks are kind of like our pink bricks in our Lego builds. No, just finished bag 1 of 7. Oh, the lunatic hospital. Oh my God. Did you see Infinity put together the Yukumo hospital? 7,500 pieces. You're gonna be on that for a while. You know that, right? Maybe you have it done by the end of the year, dude. At this point, I'm struggling right now with 3,000 pieces. I can't think of a 7,000 piece. Brother, you got your work cut out for you. You know that, Alex? That's the main reason why you bought it. How much was it? It had to be like super expensive. You're getting that one to the hospital? Yeah. Yeah, Infinity, he did it. He said it took him a while. Like a while to build that one. It says it's worth it, but it was like he was at the grinding stone for quite a bit. Which I'm not surprised. Those Yukumo sets are pretty awesome. I have not bought one yet, but I probably should look into them. I think they'd be kind of cool. Alright. Let me figure out. Let's see. This goes here. Oh, I see. This goes here. Okay, so we're building up that front wall. I wonder if this is the green light. You know what? I'm not there yet. Stop stressing it. Yeah, that's the green light. So this is going to be the little basement area. Yes, I'm in the U.S. Well, I mean, I'm in Texas. We're kind of our own country at this point. I mean, we honor the U.S. by showing up. But, yeah, I'm in the U.S., man. So I can convert it. Okay. Yeah, oh, do the Oscorp Tower. And that one, that's also the Fantastic Four. That's the, is that also from Yukumo? I don't know if Disney did that. Yeah, USD. 161. That's not too bad. It's actually for 7,000 pieces. That's a steal. And it's the Lunatic Hospital. I'll be looking that up. Brick Trucker, I'm not going to get it, okay? Because I'm also, Barware, yeah. Because I'm also looking at, apparently there's an old, it's insane hospital cheap prices. It's lunacy how unexpensive that is. How cheap. I'm not gonna say cheap because the bricks are not cheap. From what I've seen of them, they're not cheap, but it's definitely like one of those. It's inexpensive, and that's like, dude, how cool would that be? Yeah, Bar or Yokomo. You should see which one has the best price. So did you get it? Did you get it on like their site, or did you get it on like AliExpress? Because people have been telling me I gotta do it's the Arkham Asylum. Oh, people have been telling me that I've got to jump on the AliExpress and kind of look at what they got. And I'm telling them like, yeah, I should and really shouldn't at the same exact time. 60, let me finish this real quick. 61, 1, 2, and then 1 and 2. I'm going to finish up this little basement from yokomo.com. Okay. You know, if you read about me in the papers, because I got offed for spending too much money. Not playing. My wife wouldn't do that. But still, I'll look. I'm going to go that far. I'll look. I'll check it out. Might hold off. The thing, I might not get that other Proton pack. You can get 14% off by the... Alex! This is where Brick Trucker's laughing at me right now. He's like, yep, self-control. Now I'm gonna go check it out. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna pass up a deal. Like I said, I went to Target, was it last night, and I was looking because apparently someone was like, hey, all their stuff is like 50% off. I'm like, okay, and so I go and they have like one of the garden, not the farm sets that I really wanted. It's like it's little, man. It's nothing big. It's a little $10 tractor and a wagon. And I just got done buying like a friend set and some other sets. I got done buying a piece like Ghostbuster minifigure set from, you know, Banglish Bricks, Brick Wonder on, I think. No, just check it out. Voucher is Brick Wonder on Tree brand. If I find all those cemetery pieces, I'll put that behind Tree brand. If I find all those cemetery pieces, I'll put that behind it, and I'll build like a little cemetery, and then I'll move the statue somewhere else. Which means that I'll take the lighting kit that I have and move it out. Because I was originally just going to have like a statue and then have like light shining on it. But if I want to do a park, I'd much rather have like an actual park. Let's see. I missed something. Smart one? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because knowing me and I know how I am, I'm not going to remember that someone said something. I'm going to get done and be like, life is going to happen, and then I'll be thinking about it 3 days later and be like, what was it? And I won't remember. I'm packing up some of my car sets so I can build the Disney castle with my kids. Dude, that'd be awesome. I was trying to ask my kid if he wanted to do some builds with me, but he's hitting that age. So I'm guessing your kid's still young. My kid is 10. He is. I used to play Fortnite with him. Oh yeah, he loves doing build. I don't do build very well, and I haven't been playing a lot lately. But I missed something. I did totally miss something. He doesn't play with me quite so much anymore. Like, we'll play. Like, he'll be like, hey, I want to play, like, store. I want to do this, or I want to do this. I'm like, okay. And I'll play with him. And I usually end up ruining the game. Because I'm not reading through everything I'm supposed to do as a dad. I got all my kids into building bricks. They're 22 to 6. Nice. So my kid I did get him some military sets, and sometimes we'll go to mill blocks together and get stuff. And I kind of want he and I to get a set, like a military set, and put it together. He's working on a military base, and so I like the idea of him and I building and doing a set like that together. I did get some BLDR, so Builder from Jazzwares. We did get some little kits from there, and he started putting a park together, which I thought was pretty awesome. And so he's got like a little city that he's building on the side, and then hold on, I gotta check something. I put something backwards. There we go. But he's doing like some city building right now, but he's also got a whole military thing, and he has that P-38 Mustang, and I actually thought about helping him build that one, see if he wants to build that today. Red Bricks has some really good airplane sets. Yes, they do. And I believe Red Bricks is the company that Mill Blocks goes through for some of their stuff. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing? I gotta count this real quick. 1 over. And then that goes there. Okay. So they had us putting the window and then putting the plate on top and then sticking it in. But I think, honestly, I just counted it out. Stuck it on. It's a lot safer for me to do it that way. Because otherwise, I ain't going to get it right. Same with this one, I think. No, that one works. Okay. So we got this cool detail here where we've got these windows. And this is all like basement work. So this is all stuff that goes underneath. Which, coastal town, I think it'll still work. Right? That'll work. It'll work. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's see, my 14-year-old always wants to play with me at college football on PS5, but then gets mad when I beat him. Well, and that's how, like, when we were first playing Fortnite, because my kid's 10 now, but he started playing it at 8, no, 8 or 9, and we I would play with him, and he'd get so mad at me because I, could move around really quick and do what I needed to. And these days, he decided he didn't want to be beat by his dad anymore, and so he started learning like build techniques, and he started learning all these sort of like crazy game techniques. And at this point, like I can't keep up with him. He can go through a game and just run through it like it's nothing, and me, I struggle. And he does build, and I cannot do like the Fortnite build at all. And he will play through, and so if I play with him and his friends, sometimes he'll ask me to play with him and his friends, and I'll play, and I am seriously just the absolute fifth wheel to fill out a squad. Hey, thank you for the heart, me. Low budget. Hey, brother, you here? Glad seeing you. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. It's Saturday. I had some drama earlier with my build here. I'm not sure I really want to tell you about it because it was pretty rough. I feel like an idiot, absolute idiot. And I know, trucker, it happens. I know. But still, it's like one of those, it's like, man, so I'm stressing out about this one part. I'm like, I can't find this one plate. Come to find out, I had a bag that hadn't even opened yet, that had all the pieces I needed in there. So I'm like, cursing Lumibricks' name and, trying to talk about casting spells on them, and the whole time it's absolutely my fault. All right, so we're on 67, 6-7. And then half the audience just left. All right. We got this. We got this. We got this. And I think originally I said I was going to get to where I was going to get through bag 3. But I don't. This is quite a build. There's quite a bit to this. So right now we're building out the bottom. We got lights here for the inside understructure of this I guess like basement. You got like the dancing floors, you got the battery spot over here, but a lot of this, like, surprisingly, this took quite a bit of time, probably more than I was expecting. So hey Jazzy, how are you? All right, so now we're building stairs, it looks like. So we're moving on. 2x8s. 4 and 4. A 1x8. And we'll just stack it. So it goes here. Pretty easy. Another 2x8s. And then another 1x8. This one's going to go this way. It looks like that's going to stack on top of that. Alright. And then a 2x8 here. And then a 1x8 plate. And then it looks like we're building some stuff on the stairs. Okay. So we got one of these. I'm going to kind of truck along here. This goes on the end. We got a tile, a slope tile, and then another 1x1 tile here. So that's how we're building our stairs. So that works. And these are going to go right up here. So let's count them. 5 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line it up. 1, 2. Looks. 1, 2, 3. 1. And that looks kosher. That presses in here. And there's our stairs. And now we're building some columns up. So we're using our He-Man plates. Again, I call them He-Man plates. Hey, Pinecar. So He-Man plates because it looks like a little iron cross. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. 2 of these gold kind of fat cones. 1 of these. And 2 of these 1x1 plates. So we go He-Man, big cone, plates, He-Man, and then gold cone on it. We're going to take this, we're going to line them up that way. So we got this cool decorative sort of piece there, which I dig. Okay. I'm missing one of my He-Man plates. Let's do it again. He-Man, big cone, 1x1 plate, He-Man, and then fat cone there. So we got 2 and 2. Those are cool columns. And they're going to go 1 here, and then 1 on the other side. Let me line them up correctly. Okay. All right. All right, we're finally on bag 2. So, let me see my time. I'm at 3 hours. It is 1:51. So, I would say, let me look and see what I have for bag 2. I've got 1, 2, 3 bags for bag 2. I think I put my bag 3s in here, but I don't remember having any other. I got 1, 2, 3 bag 3s. I think that was it, right? No other bag 2s. I don't know. Should I go ahead and just jump right on into bag 2? It's like I want to get a little bit more done, and this is what we got on bag 2. So we're building up the floor, we're placing our person, and we're making the TV. You think I should? Hey, Savage Girl. All right, you know what? Your silence has talked me into it. Fine. I'll go ahead and do bag 2. We'll knock bag 2 out, so that way we can get our minifig and we can build up our floor of this, and we'll see how that lines up with the actual plates over here for the dancing floor. So we'll go ahead and do it. Heck yeah! Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Hey, I found my tweezers. I drank down far enough and I found my tweezers. They are covered in soda and water, but there we go. Throw that in my box. Let's do it. All right. I think this time, if I can't find a part, I will consult my humbleness and I will say, look in the box, Tay. There's a good chance it's in the box. Yeah, 6 of those so far. 6, let's see. The bags? So are you also building the Midnight Hunter Mansion? Oh, tweezers, yeah. Yeah, so tweezers, I think I'm on my 3rd pair, and then the brick separators, I think I've got like 7 or 8 of them around. I thought, because I really like the fun hole separators more than the others, I was like, maybe I should do a giveaway of what I call the best brick separators in the world. And I keep an assortment, and half the time I lose them. I thought about taking a couple and like drilling a hole and putting it on my backpack as like a keychain charm. Like I could definitely get behind that. All right, here we go. So we need a 2x4 plate, a 1x1 here. I'm gonna do this. My big pieces here. Come on, big pieces. You ain't helping me. Not one stinking bit. I'm gonna put you over here. Get you out my way. Hey, check it out. We got some printed pieces. Look at that. That's nice. That's super nice. And some more printed boards in there. Okay. And then we got, oh, that's for our TVs. Oh, check it out. So it's clear, but it's got static printed on it. Man, okay. I'm glad I decided to go ahead and go through bag 2. All right, let's find our 1x1. We got our plate, and then we got this little service stem in here. We'll find that one. There it is. call them bottle tops. They're like little studs with like a post on it. And this is going to go over to here. So let's turn. I'm going to kind of tuck this in here for right now. I don't want that to drag and snag on something. So we're going to turn this way. And then off of here, this goes out one. Boom. Boom. And then this. I believe that's, I think a tree or something's going there. Okay. And I know this thing has also got a gravestone on it, which I was like, pretty cool. Cool stuff. All right, here we go. So we need the plate. So a 2x4 plate. We've got these double snots. So instead of it being just a snot brick, it is too high. So it's a 1x2 too high. So 1, 2. Can you take me higher? And then we got the hollowed out 1x4s with a hollow out, and they're too high. So, and it looks like we also need another 2x4. Okay, so 2x4. Put our snot bricks on the back. Light gray on top. Our service. And there we go. And I believe this might be the TV, which I'm kind of excited about. I remember growing up, that was a big thing, was those old tube TVs. Okay, maybe this isn't the TV, but we are building a TV at some point. Okay. See, I'm jumping ahead. I'm so excited. Especially now that I'm done with step 17. Which was a long time ago. And it still haunts me to this day. One. Need 2 1x3s. 1. 2. What is this? 2 of these squared up slopes. 1. 2. I thought about at one point trying to do a marathon run. So I'm actually, you can actually go to my link at some point, but I've got, I had to bury it in because I don't have my link for Linktree up. But I'm actually doing donations for Men's Health right now. So right now I'm doing donations for Movember. And so I thought about it at one point. I was like, I should do a live where I'm, just going and finishing up share stations in one solid run. And I'm starting to kind of rethink that. I'm hitting a point where it's like, I get to a point where I'm like, I'm starting to get kind of tired. I'm gonna do bag 2 today, but I might have to stop after bag 2. My back, my eyes, my neck, my back. Don't say the rest. Get me dinged on TikTok for that one. My gentleman parts. Alright, let's see. I know it's in here somewhere. Take some more of these out so I can find what I'm looking for. And floorboards. So for the builders out there, Digging for Bricks had the perfect example of building when you can't find a piece. And you're like, oh, forget them and blah, 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 and F, blah, blah, and then say, oh, it's right there. So I feel that way quite often. See, I'm not even to the point where I need that piece. And already I'm kind of jumping the gun. Okay, I do need... There it is. Alright, let's set that over here. All right, and then this goes here, and then we've got this one's going to go over here. I think oftentimes what happens for me is I'm also Aleve will take care of that. Yeah, I know, man. I'm getting to that age where it's like, hey, you might have to go take some meds so you don't swell up and fall out on the floor. I don't want to be at that age. I really don't. But I'm hitting that age, man. I'm definitely hitting that age. My 46 just rolled through. I just had it. And there was a part of me that's like, hey, I kind of want to go out and go skating today and get the longboard out and go have some fun. And then some realization hits, like, man, if I fall and hurt myself, it's gonna hurt more than it did in the past, because I've broken like tons of bones before. But as I've gotten older, when I break a bone, it hurts so much more. 50 in April. Yep. Who said they're 49? 49 now, 50 in April. Yep. My friend just turned, I think he just turned 50 a couple days ago. I sent him a message. Hadn't heard from him yet. So I'm waiting to see what he says. But yeah, I think he just hit his big 5-0. And yeah, man, we're feeling it. Like here's the thing. I've broken, like, a lot of my fingers. I've broken both wrists. So this one, I think I've broken the ulna and the radius twice. This one I've broken my ulna over here, and then it's this one, my middle finger there. I've broken that. My pinky as well. You can see how that's turned. I've broken that one. My mandible, zygomatic arch over here. I had a hairline fracture across my face. My left leg, my right kneecap, collar had it cracked. And so for me, it's like wintertime comes, I'm like, yeah, it's the winter, I can put on my hoodie. And then it's like, oh, the wintertime comes, I'm going to be in so much pain, because wintertime rolls around and I feel every single break that I've done from being a goofy ass over the years, right? So I really, like, I love the wintertime, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I absolutely hate the feeling of waking up and then my feet get colder, and I hate that too. It's like I love it because I feel wiser, but then I'm like, both wrists, 3 fingers, 2 toes broken, my skull once. Were you boxing? I did have some breaks from boxing, and that's the ones in my hands. I've broken fingers from boxing. I was doing boxing in high school. Probably shouldn't have, but I decided that was the thing to do. And then the rest of them, bicycling, skateboarding, and trying to jump off of things. So one of my students, he came, his arm all slung up, and he had it in a cast. Asked what happened. He's like, he jumped off the monkey bars and did something. I'm like, yep. It's like, I feel your pain, brother. It's like, does it hurt? And he goes, yep. I was like, you gonna do it again? He goes, yep. I'm like, sounds about right. A-light bricks. Head was a fall. The rest was goofing off. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Trucker, I knew it. I knew it. Here's the thing. I don't say that we were bad boys. I just say we made some, like, kids tell me, they're like, oh, I'm bad. I'm like, man, you're not bad. We just, sometimes we make some stupid decisions. And I have made many stupid decisions over my lifetime. And I suffer the consequences well into my old age, and that's just the way it goes. Well played, yeah. We played rough. I wouldn't even say that we played rough. We just experienced life in a very different way than some people did, right? Like, I was not one to shy away and scare away from doing things. Especially if someone told me I can't do it, I'm like, oh, really? Really? And I would take that almost as a dare. And that's when I was like, man, I'll show you that I can luge down this steep 45-degree angle street in the middle of traffic on my skateboard. And then about the time I flew off and hit, a tree, or I flew off and landed out in someone's, field, right? The homemade ramps, yes. The ones that you're like, hey, this is good. And it's like 4 days sitting out in the rain and you hit that plyboard, that little quarter-inch plyboard, and the thing goes blop. Yep. Oh, man. Ramps, jumps. We had a pier. So my parents, where I grew up, we had this pier that went out over this little man-made pond. And the way that they had it, I would put like some pieces up from the ground to the ramp, so it was super smooth. And the end of the pier was missing. Someone had taken it off, and so we would ride fast over behind our house. We'd ride that thing fast, and then we would hit that kind of ramp onto the pier, and we'd ride that pier all the way out, and then we would jump the bike off the end of the pier out in the middle of the water, and then we had like a chain on the bike that we'd just drag it back in. And I remember jumping off that thing multiple times, and one time I decided that I was going to do it. I wasn't paying attention, so I was like, hey man, watch out behind you. Well, the way that it was, right next to the house was a barbed wire fence rope. It's wrapped up on trees, and it ran 3 strands high. And I wasn't paying attention, and so I need a 1x12. Let's see, hold on, 3, and 3. So I turn around to look behind me. My tire goes the wrong way, and I ended up in that fence. That one was kind of painful. That was one of those where I was like, bro, I got to watch where I'm going. I was all cut up. I didn't enjoy that much. One time where I was riding down the road, I hit a rock, and my whole handlebar slipped. And I used to ride so much that the rubber grips would rub off, and the actual metal would come out from underneath. And so I was riding and hit this rock, and my tire just does this flip thing, and it flips, and the handlebar goes and cuts me right across my stomach. And for, I think probably about 5-6 years ago, the scar, finally I couldn't see it anymore. But I used to have a jelly bean scar from where the handlebar like just ripped the top of the skin off on my stomach. I had that thing forever. My friends would joke around, call it, they said it was my jelly bean, because it looked like a big like jelly bean, like a kidney bean. Fell out of a moving pickup, got serious. Ooh. So my question is, was this when you were a kid that you fell out of the truck? I've never fallen out of the truck. Now I've had road rash from bicycle accidents, but never from falling out of a truck. I gotta grab this plate real quick. So we're back on this. It is a 16, so 4, 16, 4, 4, 8. And then a 6x16. Is that this one? Yep. Okay. Yeah, back in the 80s. Yeah. So you were... I understand now why they tell us that we can't, like, you have to have seatbelts in the back of a truck or this or that, because I had friends that fell out of trucks. I never did. My dad he was like one of those that's like, don't do it, sit down, or he'd yell obscenities at me until I sat down or did what I was supposed to do. But I could imagine that was like because of us. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in parenting, like my dad, it's not that he didn't care, okay? Don't get me wrong on that. But there were so many times where it was like I would do something and hurt myself, and he'd go, "What'd you think was gonna happen?" And then that was the end of the story. if I argued with them after that, I was going to end up getting probably a spanking. And so I just kind of like, yes, sir, move on. And that was it. And sometimes, you know, we have the same thing, like with my kid. And like, you know, he does stupid stuff. And he's like, I hurt myself doing this. I'm like, sorry. Why'd you do it? I do that with you kids now. Yeah, we're you know, here's the thing. We're setting the next generation of Gen Xers, right? Rough parenting. Some of us, I don't know. I have some friends that they, you know, they're kind of the end of Gen X, and I don't know. I feel like some of my friends' kids are afraid of everything. So you can't be afraid of everything. Like be aware of the fact that you know, you can hurt yourself. Be aware of the fact that when you hurt yourself, it's gonna hurt. End of story. But don't be afraid of the world. Just be aware. So when it happens, you know. And if you know, and if you're anything like me and you quote G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. Alright, I'm trying to snap that floor right there. There we go. So, this whole thing, this is actually pretty cool because there's not quite as much like stamping on wires right now. Everything's kind of hidden through the floorboard, and that's to get this mechanism there, which works out in my favor. Okay. So we're on 88. We need a 1x12, so 3, 3, 3, and 3. One of those. 2x8, 4, 4, and then a 1x4, which we'll pluck out of here. And then I'll check my messages. I bet you I got some messages. Yeah, there it is. Recalling. So it's just saying. Oh, I guess someone was asking about AI. AI is finally getting it, man. You know, I kept making fun of AI, saying that they didn't. The TikTok AI just couldn't figure things out. But they seem to be on check right now. Earlier it was saying that I was doing. It was something weird. But they seem to got it fixed. It's learning. It's gonna dominate us soon. Hey, Quacking Films, how are you? That's an interesting name, Quacking Films. Well, I'm trying to see what this is. You're probably going to have to tell me what that's all about. Quacking Films. Number 4. And then a gear. There we go. Okie dokie. So, this is going to go on here. Oh, I see. That sits in there. This is going to fit right in here. In my head. Time. Got no time. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can flip this over to you. So, at this point, we've got this that runs back here that moves the floorboards, and then this will actually turn something in another room. So you got like a spinning, I think that's a spinning chair, and the dancing floorboards. This is pretty wild set. I'm liking it. Okay. Moving to 90. Like I said, we'll finish up bag 2, and then I think I'm gonna have to call it after bag 2. I'm hitting that point. Alright, so we got another one of our printed tiles. This one's got some either old blood or some ectoplasm on the floor. So one of those, a 1x6. There it is. 1x6, and then a 2x4. Just one of those. Alright, let's stretch out my leg. Oh. So, here's something funny. So my kids, you know, they I say my kids. Okay, often, so I have a kid, right? I have a 10-year-old little boy. Love him to death. He my absolute sunshine. Kid's great. Though last night he was trolling me on my live, him and his friend. Well, um, oftentimes I also talk about my kids, and so usually with that I'm referring to my students. So I do teach. I teach art as well, and I teach elementary. So I have a lot of students that I kind of impact, talk to, help out, kind of get them where they need to go, square them away in the world, etc., blah, blah, blah. So oftentimes I will talk about my kids, but they were asking me at one point why I don't get on the floor very often with them. And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, let me let you hear it. So they got all lined up, and I got them all ready. And I said, all right, you got to be really quiet to hear this. And so I bend down, and then I stand up. And the noise that comes out of my knees these days, I took an injury because I won't get back up. Hey, I did manage to get back up. But when I stand up, my knee will go. It sounds like you're snapping bits of celery at the same time. And my kids were like, that's so awful. And they're just freaking out. And I tell them, like, it's okay. I was like, it happens. That's how my knees are now. And they're like, so that's why you don't get on the floor with us? I'm like, that's usually why I'm not getting on the floor with you. That's why I think it's important for you to pick up stuff off the floor when I tell you to. So that was one of those that they got to hear it the gross out way, that my knees were all bad. But I took some injuries in middle school to my knees in football, and I never got it corrected. Never did. And ever since then, it's degraded over time. And I have a feeling that pretty soon, between the issue that's going on with my hands and my knees, I have a feeling I will be having to go and get some surgery. And I'm really dreading it. I don't want to do that, but I know if I don't, I'm not going to be able to move. And then, yeah, Brick Trucker, you'll be coming to pick me up off the floor. You're trolling me about not being able to get off the floor, but at that point, I will not be able to get off the floor. So I'm gonna have to go and get it. I'm gonna have to go get surgery. I have a feeling. The issue with my hands, that's the one that I'm really dreading, because that'll put me out of building for a little bit too. And I'm not looking forward to that one at all. Let's see. Did I? Oh, already have it. Okay, so that goes here. It's going here. And then this little plate with clip is going right there. I need to fix that real quick. They're having me drag a puzzle piece. Alright, hold on. Let me drag this puzzle piece. Boom. Okay. My mom has RA rheumatoid, and I hope it skips me. Yeah. Dude, that would be... I would much rather have, like, so here, let me switch that over. So what I found out, and I know that I've had you on my live before. I don't know if I've ever talked about it. Have I talked about what's going on with my hands and my dad? Here, I'm gonna move forward. If I have, then I'll just skip it. But otherwise, because I'll let you know if you haven't heard it. Let me find these real quick. So I've got 2 He-Man plates. I again call them He-Man plates because it looks like his He-Man chest. Hold on, I'll tell you. And then I got a 2x2 plate with a 2 stud up. That was my name in high school, is 2 stud up. I got no hope for me, man. I'll find this last L tile, and I'll tell you. This one's trying my patience right now. I know it's here. I know it's got to be here, right? Good old days, the honest man, restless heart, the promised land. Kiss mortal feet, this time of victory. Oh, I don't mind if you don't mind. Uh-huh. Hopefully we're not skipping that part. You know what? Alright, here, let me put this down. I might need an eye break here in a minute. So, what's going on with my hands is that I found out. So my dad was I was talking to him one day and he said he was going to get surgery, right? Okay. It's like, what do you get surgery on? He's like, oh, I gotta go get surgery on my hands. I'm like, oh, like what's happening? And he rides motorcycles now, and basically what was going on is that he was getting this like buildup of, and I can't remember the name of the disease. It's not an uncommon. I mean, it's kind of uncommon, but it's not too uncommon. And it does seem that it could be heretical, right? But from vibrations and working with his hands, he builds up these thick fibrous ropes of biotin and other, minerals and stuff over time, and it starts to pull your fingers and your hands forward. So it's, you have to force it out, and it kind of it's painful. Well, he was telling me about this, and I started thinking back to some problems I had. So I told you I'd find that tile. And there was one day I was, when I drive long distance, my hands will start to feel like sand. They'll get really heavy, and so I'm like having to do this to work whatever it is out, because my fingers start to swell it, and they start to pull and they start to have problems. And I had them look at my hands and couldn't find anything, so it's like, I don't think I have rheumatoid. And one day I was helping my wife, and I was building something for her, and I was using my fingers quite a bit to kind of do this stuff. And even like when I massage her, my knuckles and stuff, they just hurt after a while. And so one day I was helping her build and do something, and then I get done and I put the stuff down, and my right hand, which I'm right-handed, and that's a prominent one for me, my fingers just pulled, and my whole hand just pulled forward, and I could not get it to open up as much as I tried. And I'm like freaking out at this point. She's like, it's okay. And we were trying to work it. And so she's like trying to massage like the muscle down here, because that's where like your thing is. And I mean, it's just like pulling tight. And we just had to sit there and just start kind of working it back, and like working like my fingers out and everything. And I think what it is I think that I inherited this thing. It apparently runs in the family, even though it's not uncommon. Like, it's common. Like, people can get this, but it does, I think, run within the family as well. And so I've got this thing where over time it'll pull my hands and my wrists forward, and I have to like go and like get injections and do all this stuff to kind of push my hands back out to get rid of these fibers. So for me, it's like one of those that's like I'm trying to get to a point where I can take care of things and not overdo it. And that's always been my biggest fear, is that I'll be on the middle of a live and then it'll kick and it'll pull everything. Hey Vickman, you back? It'll kick and it'll pull my hand forward, and I won't be able to unflex it, and I'll have to be like, hey, sorry guys, I gotta go, I gotta take care of this thing, and like call and have someone help me push my hand back out. But I found out, because a lot of the things that he was talking about that he suffers with were things that I'm doing as well. So it's not like rheumatoid, but I hear rheumatoid is absolutely like the worst hand feeling you can have, and dealing with rheumatoid even in other areas, like, it's just absolutely hand killer. Hey Janice, how are you? All right. So, we're at 95. We're going to 96. a 1 2x6, a 2x3, a 2x2, a 1x2. So it looks like we're just all laying floor tile at this point. Which I wish it was as simple as doing this. I need to replace some floors in my house. If only we could just get a bunch of bricks to replace it. Yeah, it was I've only had that one incident where it pulled my hand like that. Like I have it to where, like, again, when I'm driving and we'll go and visit, and so I'm usually the one driving, and I'll have to stop and do like this to get like blood flow and get everything going in my hands, because it'll just feel like it's absolutely swelling up at one point. And usually it's like once we get to the hotel and everything, I'll kind of just sit there and, like, I have like a thing that I squeeze to get, you know, my hand up and working. But I stopped doing that because I found out that if I do have what he has, that doesn't help at all. That actually could cause it to inflame and cause more problems over time. But it was one of those that when it did happen, man, it scared the snot out of me. Like, I was not ready for that, because it pulls everything forward, and you can't function. Like, you can't do anything with it. And it feels like someone's taking all your tendons and pulling it and then tying it in a knot. So you can't do anything with it. And the next time I go and start getting checkups, that's one of the things I'm bringing up with, because I just found out, like, this thing happened probably about 3 weeks ago, and I'm due to do a checkup here pretty soon. Kind of make sure my health is where I need it to be, but I have a feeling when I go, that's one of the things I'm bringing up. Be like, hey, so something's going on with my family, and I want to get checked on it and find out if that's going on with me as well. Which is not a problem until you start doing, like, brick building stuff, and then you're halfway through, you're like, yeah, I gotta stop, or this is gonna be an ugly adventure of how quick am I gonna have to stop alive. So which sometimes is not a big deal, except like when I'm doing the harbor and I've got all that mosaic and I'm laying all that, and I'm like, dude, my hands hurt so bad after that. And I'll like ice them, or like put them, you know, put them down, just lay them in my lap and watch TV. So is she taking anything for her, or is your mom taking anything for her hands? It's your mom, right? I'm gonna go back. Lego. Yeah. So does she take anything for her hands? And I do hope it skips you, because that, I can imagine that brick building is a disaster. All right. 2 2x4s. And that goes here and here. I'm kind of trucking along. I'm getting to a point where I'm gonna need to stop, man. I think I did it. Yeah, she gets injections. Dupuytren's contracture. Yes. Yep, Dupuytren's. That's what it's called. So you looked it up? Yep. Yep. Apparently that's what my dad has. It seems like that's probably what I have as well. Like I said, it's not like it's uncommon. Like, there's lots of cases of it, but it does seem, at first they didn't say it was hereditary, but it seems like it might also be something that hereditary. Yeah, when my dad told me, I had to look it up to see what he was talking about. But yeah, and because they live in Deep East Texas, so when he goes, he has to go to Houston to get the injections and surgery and stuff like that. Up here, it's a little bit easier because I'm around Dallas, so for me, I would just be wherever I go to get it done here in Dallas. But he has to go quite a ways. They don't have any specialists in the town where they live. Okay. I'm going to truck these on, moving. And I'm wondering if this is going to be... I'm not sure where this is going to go. We'll figure it out. Hi, Daniel. How are you? Okay, so we need 2 of these 2x6s. One of these 2x2s with 2 stud up. A 1x2 tile. And finally, we're down to another 2x3 that's already out. And we're going to finish up this floorboard. So we got this part done. Just look at that. That's nice. I like the color of the board. I am kind of concerned about this. Let's see. Things that I've done. Let me set that and then try to set that back down. Ooh. I'm noticing something. Let's see. These seem to be catching on some of these tiles. Okay, I got it. So whenever you do this, if you build it, you're going to have to make sure that these 2 tiles here in the center are lined up when you put that tile down. Otherwise, it gets stuck underneath that tile. But we got this. We got the turntable for our chair in there. Looks like we're putting something together over here. And then I think we'll call it. We're, like I said, we're 3 hours, 38 minutes in. Didn't get quite as much done as I was thinking, but that's what I get for thinking. I'll put this on here, and then this here. And yeah. So I like how they're staggering these tiles here. So it looks like it looks like floorboards in a way. Look at that. So 101, 102. Goes out this way, and this is gonna fit. And when they cut me open, I guess I changed my mind. And you know, I might just flow too far. The floor. I'm kind of wondering what Banglish is doing at this point. Banglish and M. I bet you they are. I think she was talking about going and getting some bricks with her kid. Maybe I'll see if I can take my kid out today and we can go hit up her mill blocks. 1, 2, so 103. We're just reinforcing some stuff on the bottom. Yeah, right here. Okay, so an 8. It's going to go here. And then a 6 going out right here. They're gonna haunt me. And then 104, we need a 14. So 4, 4, and then 2. That's 14. 10, which 4 left. 5. Half of that. And then a cool little corner piece. Let me find it. Justify my claims on my transmission. So they use these. These are actually pretty cool. They use these sometimes as ways to route wires because of the groove in it. They're pretty slick. I like that. Okay. And it looks like we are going to be... So we're pulling our wire up and over. We got these. Let's go over to the next page here. So this goes on the corner. This one's going here. All in your mind. 5 right here. And this one. Ooh. Okay. So hey, Brick Trucker, let me ask you, because I know you got trucker in your name. Are you actually a trucker? Do you go out driving all the time? You don't have to answer, but I was just kind of wondering about that. And also, hey Pedro, how are you? I know one of my friends, he actually got a gig back doing driving, so he's actually gonna be traveling across the country. 26 years now. Wow. I don't think I've stayed. I think teaching is the longest profession I've ever been in at this point. I've worked framing, so I'm doing art framing. I've worked in the film industry in Dallas. I've done photography industry stuff. And then let's see, what else have I done? Man, all sorts of stuff. But I think teaching now, I'm on my 11th or 12th year teaching in district, but then I was teaching for about 5 years before that in like private sector stuff and corporate. And so I think that's probably the longest I've done is teaching at this point. So 26 years. Do you ever get that when you're driving, your hands feel like sand and you got to shake them? Do like that? Kind of wondering. I'm only going by the experience that I've had because that's what I know. But I've always wondered from other people if they've got the same thing. 2, a snot, another L, and one of those. Let's see. 1 and 2. One of these. I'm hearing lots of things going on. Hey, buddy. How are you? You doing good? Okay. Hey, take your phone with you. All right. I'm wanting to be a teacher, but college for me don't agree. Here's the thing. Well, I say that, and I went to college a long time ago. So I've got my bachelor's in arts and science. It was actually through film production. My knee's starting to go out on me. And so I did that years and years and years ago. So when I took my certification stuff, it was like, stretch your hands. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. When I did my certification stuff, I had to all I had to do was say, hey, I've got this bit of college, so I've got that part, and all I need to do now is just do certification. Well, the problem that I had was that my certification was not in art, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't have to do anything extra for it, but I will say that it looks better if you have your degree in what you do, your cert, or what you want to teach in. The one thing that's kind of weird is that these days I wanted to go back and get a master's, and listening to some of the horror stories of people going back to school is like, I don't think that's ever going to happen for me. Like I like it, but cost is incredibly high. And then to top it off, besides for cost being really high, I think I missed something. Besides for cost being really high, the time of going in and doing it and carrying on with the job, I'm not as disciplined as I should be in order to do that. All right, so hold on, let me figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, I did it. I was right. I was thinking I was wrong, but I'm right. And when I'm right, I'm right. I'm not always right, but when I am, I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, here we go. We'll pull that back across that way. And now we need the rest of our tiles. So, 1 2x4, a 2x3, a L brick, 2 of those L bricks, 1, 2, and then 2 of these corner L bricks. I call them corners because, or not L bricks. They're corner 1x1 tiles, but they've got like a little rounded corner on it. So 1, 2, they're quarter pieces. There's the other. There we go. All right. I'm kind of waiting to the point when we get to the TV portion, and then I know that we'll be trucking along. That's probably the piece I want to build more than anything else right now. It's going to be the absolute last piece. I'm sure of it. But I just gotta trust the process, do what I'm supposed to do, and get it done. All right. I think, you know, it was like one of those. I was going into this. I was like, hey, I'm gonna enjoy this build, and I wasn't quite expecting the amount of work that bags 1 and 2 have. Like, there's just so much like ground laying that you have to do before you can even get into the fun, crazy stuff. So now we got a 4x10, a 4x4, bit colder, a printed tile brick, one of those and one of these, and we'll figure out what we're doing with this. Closer, I move a little bit closer. Okay, that goes here, here, right. I flew and fly, I know it, destiny's kind. I got the rest of my mind, heart, it don't beat. There we go, another L, and another 2x2 flat tile. Let's see, put it here. I'm sure my wife's gonna be like, so how far did you get today? Like, not that far. The cyberpunk department, the whole bag set for the base. Yeah. Here's the thing, sitting there thinking, so I haven't, like I said, I hadn't done that set. It was one of those I was thinking about, but I was also kind of debating, because I knew if I got one of those, I would end up getting all of them. And I might get like maybe the cop car and like put it in my city as like kind of future police, and maybe the hover bus. But I knew if I got like the Yakuza house or the tram or the game stack, I would want to get every single set. And looking at what they had for that base plate and all the detail and like the tile work with the clear tiles and stuff, I was like, I bet you, I was sitting there, I was like looking at it, I was like, I bet you that's a lot of work. And what I was not thinking of was that it was going to be the same thing for this. I was like, oh yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Not even keeping the fact that there's a play feature under here. There's wire kits under here. This whole thing sits up so you have lights underneath it. I was seriously not thinking about the amount of work that goes into the first little run of this. This is quite a bit. Okay, so that's in here for the porch. Now we're moving into some maroon pieces. So we've got this curvy snot, a 1x1, a wedge, and a 1x1 tile here. Let's take a look at what we're doing here. Yeah. And this is going on the end. Okay. So now we're building this portion out. 1, 1. And it's, yeah, there's a gap there. Okay. The base of the apartment is basically a Mills plate. Oh yeah. Well, so so they do the same thing with the base where it's like 4 16x16, and then you like piece it together and build it that way. Are they doing the same for that one? How they did this one? My guess is probably yeah. Because they like to have it to where you could snap it into something else down the road. I've noticed that about them. I tried going against my own soul's warning, but in the end, something just didn't feel right. Similar, yeah, yep. My own soul's warning. Yeah. Alright, and I have a feeling we're going to build the other side. Yep, pretty much the same thing. Here we go. 1. One of these, and then our 1x1. Okay. So we have on this Midnight Haunted Mansion, we've got this option to have it to where we could put in green. So what's cool about this set is they do give you options for customizing. And they've got, you could do different color light sets. You could do, or like different cones on the lights. Different tree colors. But I think because my Harbor Town, I'm going to keep in autumn colors. So my goal is by next year, I've got it all built. So everything is in autumn theme with like, and I've got like jack-o'-lantern light kits and stuff that I'll put out. So my goal is that we're going to keep this in autumn. So by the time the build is done, I keep it in my favorite season, which is the autumn season. And then when this is up, so I think I'm going to probably retire the leaves I have over here in the purples. I might take those and for the first time put that towards other builds. I'm debating because normally my Lumibricks stuff I keep separate, like not the sets, but like the extra bricks I keep them separate. Okay, so I am gonna put my guy here. He's gonna go right here on this. I'm gonna press that up, put him on here, and there we go. So we got our guy dancing on the boards. He's not having a good time right now. He is not enjoying that at all. Put that one down. There we go. Okay. And now we're putting some decorative pieces. So we got this cool plate thing that's got scratches on it. And then we got a black rotted banana. Like the banana that the kid left on my table the other day. Not my kid, like a student. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? They had the banana, and then they left the rind on the desk. How did it... Oh, so the tank? Okay. So the tank turned out pretty decent. I'm actually... Oh, look at that. I already broke a piece off. There's some mod stuff, so I will probably do a review of this on my YouTube channel. And then there's some areas to mod. Like, I want to pull some of these treads out to make this a little bit tighter. There's a plate that needs to go under here because these just keep breaking off. I'd like to put something under here that makes this easier to access. But the way that they built like the turret and the top is pretty cool, except this will catch on some bricks. It's not doing it now. Maybe I fixed it, but it was catching on, these plates were breaking off, and then these will catch on the tires or the treads. So there's like some things that need to be fixed. But all in all, not too shabby of a build. For $10, it was worth it. I just haven't done the motorcycle yet, but I do plan on some point. I need to do a review on my YouTube channel about it, and then I'll mod it up. I might even like do the review, pause it, and then do maybe a mod up of things that we could do to fix it. So that way, if you do decide to get it, you'll know. I'm actually getting ready to do the Avengers Tower. Are you doing live for it? Cedric, if you are, because I have a feeling once I'm done with bag 2, I think I'm gonna get off. So if you're doing a live on it, I'll go and check out what you got. And I would probably encourage others to also go and check it out. But let me get this part built, and then we'll move on. So we got a 216, a 1x4, 1x4 snot, 2 of these bumpy 1x2s, 1x1, a 2 of these 1x2s, and 2 of these 1x2 snots. My music just stopped again, so I have a feeling something's crashing, and it's back on. And then 2 of these. All right, so I'm guessing this is like a record table or some sort of table. Let's stretch out my knee again. All right, 1 and 2. Let's see, this one goes here, this goes here. I'm almost racing it at this point. All right, and this goes center, and then 1 and 2. So that's actually kind of cute. It's a cute little dresser thing there. I'm sure it's got. Okay, so snot. No, no, not this time. My son's kind of camera shy. Oh, are you building it with them? Oh, that's cute. So snot, and I don't, I'm not quite sure if it's like snot as an acronym. I always assumed they called it snot because it was like a nostril hanging out of the side of a brick. But let me see if I can find one. I'll just show you here. So like these here, they have the brick with the hole in it, and they hang out of the sides like a nostril. I think that's why they called them snots. But there's probably an actual acronym for it. Here's the thing, I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not that knowledgeable. And I kind of go, like, usually what I hear is when I hear people talk about it, we're like, oh yeah, snot brick. And I've heard people refer to some of them as Travis bricks. Hadn't quite figured out what a Travis brick is. But there's multitudes of different lingo for blocks and plates and tiles and things like that. And I'm just like, I've been building since '86. I never really took stock on what all this was. I didn't get into the, I guess, like the hobby side of it until more recently, which just seems kind of weird because I've been doing it for so long. But yeah, it's there's all sorts of weird lingo to these things. Okay, I'm gonna flip that over, stick that in there, flip this over, stick this in here, and I think we might be making the TV. So this is kind of what we got so far. It studs not on top. Ah, yes, I learned something. Brick Truck, I knew. I had a feeling you would know. So now I gotta let M know that. I gotta let M know that I learned something new. That I learned that it studs not on top. That's cool. You looked it up. Hey, I would just sit and be like, yeah, man. I've been building for a while. Like you either know or you don't. I would have just played it off that way. But that's actually that's cool because here's the thing. Now we got the lingo and we know. And like I said with G.I. Joe, you know how it is. If you know, no one's half the battle. All right. So we're building, it looks like our TV at this point. So let's figure out, this is going across there. We do need one of our wire tiles, which is in brown. That's going to go right on top. Is it? 123. This goes here. No, it goes inside the TV. So these wires are going to pull out this way. We're going to wrap them together. And this is going to pin right to here to push those two together. Okay. That's our color changing one. I've been building 2 years and had no clue. Don't admit that. I would just say, yeah, man. Been at this game for a while, yo. Hey, Dr. Carlos, how are you? How's the kids and the job going? Everything going okay? All right. Let's see. So you're doing the Avengers Tower, but you are sorry, hold on, I gotta go back. That is Cedric. Yeah, you're doing the Avengers Tower, but you're not gonna be doing it live. All right. Cause I don't know, man. I'd like to see that. Okay. So I gotta pay attention to this. This going this way. This is going to be going in here. Ah, I see what they're doing. Okay. I am going to flip this going here, this going here, this goes on the end, and then this is going on. So this is actually pretty ingenious part of the build. So what they're doing in order to get the screen in there kind of sideways is that we are basically taking two of these plates, running them together, and then putting a thing on top of it. Oh, right, play cool. Yeah, play cool, play cool. Don't let them know. Yeah, someone, I can't remember, someone was asking me the other day, they're like, hey, what, this is this. I'm like, I gotta look it up. I honestly, I don't know. And there are many times I don't know. Or someone will hit me with a certain build. They're like, hey, have you ever done this or done this? I'm like, no, I've never even heard of that. And I'll have to go and look it up when I'm off, like off camera, because there's so much, and I was surprised to see just how much the hobby's grown too. That I'll often like not realize just how that there's a lot of people that are new to it. All right, I'm gonna turn this. Okay. Oh, this goes on here. All right, and then this goes on top. Oh, look at this. Look at that. So there is that little TV screen in there. That's pretty cool. You know what? Before we go today, I might go ahead and like hook up the wires and then hook up the battery pack so I can see it before we go. Because I do want to see all those lit together. And also to make sure I didn't snag any wires. But the TV is supposed to glow different colors. So for me, like, I really want to see that. So here we go. We'll put the antennas on. We'll get that part done. Because this will be the end of our bag 2. And we're at 4 hours. So 2 bags in 4 hours. Not what I was expecting. But that intro took a while. That's a lot of extra work. And then realizing that I had 1 bag. And technically, I did get another bag because I opened up 15. And I built that beforehand. I'll show that in a minute. Alright. So we got the antennas on there. Now that's all that they're saying that bag. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab my box. I'm going to grab my pieces over here. So we got 1 and 2. I might need to reach in there and grab. Yeah. Grab my pliers, grab this wire, and pull it through just a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and hook this up here. I want to see these, I want to see the TV. That's like one of the other things I really loved about this is that the whole TV lights up different colors. And it's a lot of the same electronics they have for the cyberpunk stuff, which is pretty cool. So let's see. Hi, vey, you're not wanting to go in there for me. Don't be like that. Okay. So there's the light underneath the building. There's the light on this side that's flashing. And then there's the TV with the light change over there, which is pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it. And you got the dancing floorboards. The chair that'll turn over here. So that's pretty cool. I like it. All right. And then before we go, we'll look at the oh, that's stuck up underneath there. And then we'll look. So we got our other Ghostbuster, our Lady Ghostbuster there, which is pretty cool. I'll show you TikTok, Twitch. And then we did technically put this together, which was our little Ghostbuster car that's got the nice little callbacks. It's called JL5 2020. So like what I have on my car. Containment unit in the back. some science package on top, whip antenna, a net, which just seems kind of weird, but you know. And then you've got your essential, but not a Ghostbuster trademarked item, but your Moogly there on the side. The doors do open, though there is some hindrance because of the wheel wells. And then you got your Ghostbuster guy inside. Yeah. I do think I want to change that plate, though, but not yet. I'll do it way after reviews and stuff.